Democracy on everyone, and welcome to Democracy on Ice. I'm John Kitover. Morning.
Watermelon rainbow. Watermelon rainbow. Watermelon rainbows. Watermelon rainbows.
You can do that.
Watermelon rainbows. Little orange. Hey, hey.
Good job. Morning, Chief.
Chicago is taking a history.
Catching neon futures. Catching neon futures. Catching neon futures. Catching neon futures. Little orange. Hey, hey.
Chicago.
Is pension debt.
Chicago. Chicago. Chicago.
Makes with it on the cotton and consumes it. Silence the priest mistakes, uncovers and offers the cup as before.
I'm gonna cry in a minute.
Come back to the Evening, folks. Let's talk. To me.
He kneel adore, rises, turns, shows the cup to the people, turns, replaces the cup, and adores music. For this is the covenant of resurrection. He makes the 5 crosses on the priestess. Accept, O Lord, this sacrifice of life and joy, true warrants of the covenant of resurrection. The priest offers the lance to the priestess, who kisses it. He then touches her between the breasts and upon the body. He then flings out his arms upward as comprehending the whole shrine. Let this offering be borne upon the waves of aether to our Lord, and Father the Son that travelleth over the heavens in his name on. He closes his hands, kisses the priestess between the breasts, and makes 3 great crosses over the paten, the cup, and himself. He strikes his breast. All repeat this action. Hear ye all, saints of the true church of old time, now essentially present, that of ye we claim airship, with ye we claim communion, from ye we claim benediction in the name of ye.
Hey, what up? How you doing? How you doing? Um, I'm uploading videos to YouTube. Uploading videos to YouTube.
One is specifically Nova Echo, and Pam Bondi's used it. Ron DeSantis has used it. A lot of, I would say mainly like South Florida people have used it in their campaigns. Was just wondering if that's something that you might be interested in.
No, not for me. I mean, I'm out of the congressional campaign. But for the mayoral, I mean, I'm not going to do any kind of call center type stuff. But it is a very cool product.
But it can also be for congressional campaigns too. It's basically, so it's out of the UAE. It's based in Dubai. Just got off another call with them, and so they're essentially like the most advanced like voice AI platform, and they will integrate with like any CRM system, and they will literally, I can give you the number and you can test it out, and they will basically mimic your voice and call people and say like, you can basically tell them to say whatever you want. Like they can say like, have you registered to vote? Are you registering to vote for this person? Like, are you voting, liberal or Democrat, Republican? Like what's your political situation? And it's a generative AI company, and it's actually really interesting.
Yeah, it is really interesting. I've worked in direct response marketing for a lot of years, so I see the value, and I know a couple like pay-per-call advertising networks. I have to dig through my notes, but I think it's called
it's not a pay-per-call thing. You can customize it, and there's like a lot of different plans.
Well, what I'm saying.
Also, if you want to get in on this, right now there's like 4 people that are in on this, and I mean you can get some of the overhead, and if you want to pass along to other people, like you can charge whatever you want, and then just take the overhead.
Yeah, it's cool. Let me talk to my friend in Los Angeles who works in this space and show it to him and see what he says.
Okay.
He might know some.
And then I have, let's see. Sorry, I just got home. Like I said, I'm opening up my email. I believe they sent me a 1-pager that I can forward to you. They popped in my head. Yeah, I should have this 1-pager within like the next hour or so, and then I'll just forward it to you.
Okay, cool. Sounds good.
But yeah, one of the guys lives in Beverly Hills. One of the guys lives in Dubai. Another guy lives in Boca. Another guy lives in Houston. And then they're like, I'm basically on board now too.
What was the other company?
But they're making like a shit ton of money.
Yeah, I bet. It seems pretty dope. I want to test it out.
Yeah, I'll send you the number.
Okay, sounds good. Well, have a good evening. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, sounds good. Have a good night.
Okay, take care. Bye.
So we're discovering that data center machines are draining lakes and rivers and maybe soon the ocean. But one thing for sure, 2 things for certain, humans need water to drink. So
Principles. The Diakin. Mysterious energy, triform, mysterious matter, in fourfold and sevenfold division. The interplay of which things weave the dance of the veil of life upon the face of the spirit. Let there be harmony and beauty in your mystic loves. That in us may be health and wealth and strength and divine pleasure according to the law of liberty. Let each pursue his will as a strong man that rejoiceth in his way, as the course of a star that blazeth forever among the joyous company of heaven. The people. So won't it be. So won't it be. so that she that beareth children may rejoice, and the babe catch life with both hands. So mote it be. The people. So mote it be. So mote it be. So mote
Lhotse and Siddhartha and Krishna and Tahuti, Moshe, Dionysus, Mohammed and Megatherion. With these also Hermes, Pan, Priapus, Osiris, Melchizedek, Chem and Amun and Mentu, Heracles, Orpheus and Odysseus with Virgilius, Catullus, Martialis, Rabelais, Swinburne, and many an holy bard, Apollonius, Tianius, Simon Magus, Mames, Pythagoras, Basilides, Valentinus, Bardesigns, and Hippolytus, that transmitted the light of the Gnosis to us their successors and their heirs, with Merlin, Arthur, Cameret, Parzival, and many another, Priya and Onporio VII, Fet, priest and king that bore the lance and cup, the sword and disc against the heathen. And these also, Carolus Magnus and his paladins, with William of Shiren, Frederick of Hohenstaufen, Roger Bacon, Jacobus Burgundus, Molensis the martyr, Christian Rosenkreutz, Ulrich von Hutten, Paracelsus, Michael Mayer, Roderick Borgia Poi, Alexander VI, Jacob Boheme, Francis Bacon, Lord Verulam, Andrea, Roberus de Fluctibus, Johannes D, Sir Edward Kelly, Thomas Vaughan, Elias Ashmole Molinos, Adam Weishaupt, Wolfgang van Goethe, Ludovicus, Rex Bavaria, Richard Wagner, Alphonse Louis Constant, Frederick Nietzsche, Hargrave Jennings, Carl Kellner, Forlong Dux, Sir Richard Paynight, Paul Gauguin, Sir Richard Francis Burton, Dr. Gerard Enclosi, Dr. Theodorus, and Sir Alistair Crowley, O sons of the Lion and the Snake! With all thy saints we worthily commemorate them worthy that were and are to come. May their essence be her present, potent, puissant, and paternal to perfect this feast.
But to love me is better than all things. If under the night stars in the desert thou presently burnest mine incense before me, invoking me with a pure heart, and a serpent flame therein. Thou shalt come a little to lie in my bosom. For one kiss wilt thou then be willing to give all. But whoso gives one particle of dust shall lose all in that hour. Ye shall gather goods and store of women and spices. Ye shall wear rich jewels. Ye shall exceed the nations of the earth in splendor and pride. But always in the love of me, and so shall ye come to my joy. I charge you earnestly to come before me. Single robe and covered with a rich headdress. I love you. I yearn to you. Pale, purple, pale, voluptuous. Pleasure and purple and drunkenness of the animal sense. Desire you. Put on the wings and rose the coiled splendor within you. Come unto me. Sing the righteous love song unto me. Pour unto me perfumes. Wear to me jewels. Drink to me. I love you. I love you. I am the blue-lipped daughter of sunsets. I am the naked brilliance of the voluptuous night.
La parada del bus, la señora con su cruz me pregunta, ¿y este tal John de verdad piensa en los blues? El chaval con su café, 3 trabajos, poco pie, dice, quiero a alguien que al fin se parezca un poco a mí. John para el mayor de Chicago, para los botes, para el barrio, para las personas de las peoples que nunca salen en los libros. John para el mayor de Chicago, la voz del norte y del lado sur, para la familia en el lago que sueña un futuro azul.
Fucking, yeah, for years.
En la esquina del tianguis, la abuelita haciendo tamis dice, quiero
See?
ver la luz en la escuela de mi Luis. Taxi lleno, tráfico,
Sandy, how
un
are you,
suspiro
bro?
cínico. Si votamos esta vez, cambiará lo que sea. John para el mayor de Chicago, para los voters, para el barrio, para las personas de los peoples, pagando cuentas con sus ritmos. John para el mayor de Chicago, la voz del norte y del lado sur, para la familia del lago que sueña un futuro azul. piensa en los blues. El chaval con su café, 3 trabajos, poco quiere. Dice, quiero a alguien que al fin se parezca un poco a mí. Yo para el mayor de Chicago, para los botes, para el barrio, para las personas de las peoples que nunca salen en los libros. Yo para el mayor de Chicago, la voz del norte y del lado sur, para la familia del lago que sueña un futuro azul. En la esquina del tianguis, la abuelita haciendo tamiz. Dice, quiero ver la luz en la escuela de mi Luis. Taxi lleno, tráfico, un suspiro cínico. Si votamos esta vez, cambiará lo que se ve. Dímelo. Yo para el mayor de Chicago, para los botes, para el barrio, para las personas de las peoples, pagando cuentas con sus ritmos. Yo para el mayor de Chicago, la voz del norte y del lado sur, para la familia en el lago que sueña un futuro azul. No queremos tanto nieto, solo alguien que escuche el olor del techo que gotea limpiar, del miedo a perder.
Good evening, Chicago's.
De Chicago, para los botes, para el barrio, para las personas de las people bailando en la línea del mínimo. Yo para el mayor de Chicago, la voz del norte y del lado sur, para la familia del lago que sueña un futuro azul.
Council, thank you for joining. Thank you for joining.
Salt on my lips, quiet laughs over low tide.
Tonight, I'm ordering.
You trace a map on my wrist, like you've been here the whole time. Lantern sway slow, your hair caught a little sunlight.
Neighbors, today we gather.
From somebody's window glow.
Neighbors,
In the
today
middle
we gather in the heart of Chicago.
Under this moon, in our hidden cold, breathing you in like a secret told.
Neighbors,
Every small touch feels
Chicago. Tonight we're here to remind ourselves what makes this city more than brick and Big Chicago.
lose my name. Only your heartbeat calling me back again.
Big Chicago.
Chicago mayoral race, candidate John Kitover is rolling out a sweeping plan he says will end crime and strengthen city services. The proposal calls for hiring. Chicago mayoral race, candidate John Kitover is. Chicago.
If we can do that while still fun. Hey, Chicago! Hey, Chicago! When I took office, violent crime.
Every time you laugh out loud. Oh, under this moon, in our hidden cold, breathing you in like a sweet every storm.
Violent crime and those smash and grab robberies are down tonight in Chicago. Violent crime and those smash and grab robberies are down tonight. Violent crime.
Good afternoon, Chicago. Good afternoon, Chicago. Today we're taking another step.
Let it cover our tracks. Leave the rest of the world where the shoreline cracks. Just your hand in mine. Just that slow, soft line. If this is all we get, let it stretch all night. Under this moon, in our
The Chicago mayor is already.
Good evening, friends, and welcome to Mayor Kitover TV on Ice. Tonight, we're gliding through the numbers that shape your household budget. First up, property.
every
Good evening, friends, and welcome to Mayor Kitover TV on Ice.
feels like a spell. Right here, right now, where the warm waves swell. Under this moon, I could lose my day. Only a heartbeat calling me back again.
Good evening, friends.
Good evening, Chicago. I'm John Kitover. I'm running to be your next mayor, and I need your vote on February 23rd. Good evening, Chicago.
Feet on the floor, ground to the sky. We like a tide rolling, rolling by. Thoughts coming down like birds on the wire.
This morning, the city of Chicago.
And you're watching City Line News on Mayor Kitover TV. Tonight, the mayor lays out what's ahead for property tax, and water tax, and the garbage tax. We take. And you're watching City Line News on Mayor Kitover TV. Tonight.
I found the middle right here, right hand, left hand, same hand. Inhale the chaos,
And you're watching City Line News on Mayor Kitover TV.
exhale the care. I walk the wire, eyes closed, soft heart, strong step.
Breaking tonight, Chicago Mayor John Kitover has. Good evening. Day one in office, and Mayor John Kitover is already making. Good evening. Day one in office, and Mayor John Kitover.
Storm in my chest, calm in my face.
Someone couldn't tune my this guitar.
In this one quiet place,
Wow.
sun in my bones, moon in my veins. I hold them both, let them dance through the strain. I find the middle, right here, right here, left hand, same end. Inhale the chaos, exhale the care. I walk the wire, eyes closed, soft heart, strong stay. I live in balance. I live in balance. Right here.
Mayor, I'm cutting property taxes by 10% and I'm eliminating the water garbage bag tax. Chicago deserves a break and we're making it real today, and I'm signing it right.
Love and our faith in God. The liberty we treasure, the community we share, the laws we respect, and the peace we pray to keep. Love and our faith. Love.
But you, who have defied the law, you who have conquered by subtlety, your force, I am the God who giveth all. 20 I ask you to sacrifice. Nothing at mine altar. I am the God who giveth all. 20 with light, love, force,
Pago, it's time.
fantasy, fire.
Pago, it's time to glut.
These do I bring you. Mine hands are full of these. There is joy in the setting out. There is joy in the journey. There is joy in the goal. 20 feet. Only if ye are sorrowful, or weary, or angry, or discomforted. also is compassion, an end to the sickness of earth, a rooting out of the weeds, a watering of the flowers. 25. Oh, my children, more beautiful than the flowers. Ye must not fade in your season. 28. I love you.
Mayor Kitover TV on Ice. Tonight we're breaking down the big...
Good evening, friends, and welcome to Mayor Kitover.
To Mayor Kitover TV on Ice. Tonight we're talking about...
29.
To Mayor Kitover TV on Ice.
This immortality is no vain hope beyond the grave. I offer you the certain consciousness
Tonight we're talking-
of bliss. 30. I offer it at once, on earth, before an hour hath struck upon the bell. It shall be with me in the bones that are beyond decay.
As pension debt has loomed over. As pension debt has loomed over. And for you. As pen-
Violent crime and those smash and grab robberies. Violent crime and those smash and grab robberies. Violent crime.
In Chicago, I'm John Kitover with Channel 7 News. We're live downtown tonight where crews are getting ready for the weekend's Lakefront Festival. The city says it's boosting security and...
That's the number stamped on my dog tag when I served overseas. Chicago families are being soaked by a...
I have hidden myself beneath a mask. I am a black and terrible god. 16. With courage conquering fear shall ye approach me. Ye shall lay down your heads upon mine altar, expecting the sweep of the sword. But the first kiss of love shall be
The Mayor Kitover...
Hey folks, welcome back to Mayor Kitover TV, the show where I talk about...
You're watching City Line News on Mayor Kitover TV. Tonight,
The numbers of the code for tonight's topic, taxes. The numbers of the code for tonight's topic, tax.
only those who fear shall fail. Those who have bent their backs to the yoke of slavery until they can no longer stand upright. Them will I despise.
The numbers of...
19.
Mayor Kitover TV on Ice. Tonight we're breaking down...
This
morning, the city of Chicago.
You who have conquered
morning, the city of Chicago.
by subtlety or force, you will I take unto me. Even I will take
morning,
you unto me. 20. I ask you to sacrifice nothing at mine altar. I am the God who gives.
fly, and I am light as a hawk. Of mother of emerald are my mighty sweeping wings. 2. I swoop down upon the black earth, and it gladdens into green at my coming. 3 children of earth, rejoice! Rejoice exceedingly! For your salvation is at hand. The end of sorrow is come. I will ravish you away into mine unutterable joy.
You haven't won. You have not won anywhere in the world. How does it feel to be a perpetual loser? And you couldn't beat the weakest nation. Landed on the shore, starving, oppressed, didn't have clothes.
You're an expert on this topic, Brad. How does it?
There goes a Canadian too. Fucking geese. I fucking hate Canadians as much as I do. You know what? BB, I tell you what. Come to America. I'll sponsor you. I'll help you through. KK will get all the fucking paperwork together, and we will give you the ABs. They can stay in Canaran. I'll let Pepe fucking do whatever he wants to up there. He'll take his little league of baseball bat and start cracking heads and let these guys cry, because personally, you don't belong in Canada. That's an insult to fucking men. That twat waffle nation is nothing more if it's got nothing but Charles. But you guys haven't won in your little, like, Islamic fucking faith of, hey, we're gonna conquer the world. You haven't done shit. The only thing you conquered were a couple goats and a camel. So who's next? You can bring up whoever you want to. But fucking respect Rafi when he's speaking, respect KK, respect anybody else who's off mic while they're talking. And stop with your fucking Allah Akbar fucking bullshit that you're gonna fucking, like, interrupt everybody else.
And respect mother, too. Mohammed Benzona.
Mother, you know, if you're gonna be in serious trouble, then Jack the motherfucker is gonna be here.
At least I respect Jack. He respects people and he, like, holds his own. Like, these guys just cry.
No, Jack is very well respected as well. Even though
Jack is a cunt. Look, Jack is a cunt, but he's still a cunt you can actually disagree with. That's just the way it is.
No, I like Jack. He's a nice guy.
He's a cunt, but he's still a cunt you can disagree with. The way it happens sometimes in life. It's funny.
you know what's the difference? If you explain something to Jack and it makes sense, he's gonna accept it. But this Abdul comes up, you just speak for 2 minutes. He stops listening after 10 seconds.
Good point.
You know what I'm curious about? I'm curious about the guys like Akima and Sig that run around this app trying to act like great Americans while insulting their country, talking shit about their country. I don't understand like where that illness comes from. I don't.
You're talking about Sig?
Oh,
Yeah,
Sig,
Sig.
you guys are a disaster.
Sig and I there is on the right. So you guys have been, when it comes to the criticism of Israel, you guys have been, like, especially Rafi's, talking about what you see from the left. When it comes to those of us on the right, we have a different, our critiques are not quite the same as the left's critiques of Israel. And it's not, we're not necessarily anti-Zionist. We don't have a problem with Israel existing. It has more to do, how else do I put this? It has to do with politics here at home, and it also has to do with, particularly within the Republican Party, since Charlie Kirk has died, basically a civil war within the influencer sphere, in the media sphere is brewed over. With the absence of Charlie Kirk, he was somebody who wanted a big tent. He was very adamant about, like, look, Nick Fuentes is too far, but other than that, like, look, dude, we're not gonna cancel right wingers or keep them out of our big tent. But afterwards, there's a pretty concerted effort to get a lot of people, like, for example, Tucker Carlson's the most notable example. He's somebody that was friends with Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk would let him speak at his events. After he died, very quickly, it was all about getting Charlie. They wanted Tucker Carlson out of the fucking way. And you look at CPAC. The last
Morning, Chicago. Today we gather not just as a city, but as a family.
Basically, Megyn Kelly, Tucker
You're watching
Carlson.
Cityline News on American.
Watch American over TV on Ice. Tonight we're talking about the bills that touch every household. Good evening, friends, and welcome to American over TV on Ice.
Good evening, folks. Let's talk about the 3 pillars of running Riverdale: tax, water tax, and everybody's favorite, the garbage tax. Folks, welcome back to American Over TV, the show.
American over TV on Ice. Tonight,
Good evening, folks. Let's talk about the 3.
Good evening, folks. I'm Mayor John Kitover. Tonight on
Chicago is my home. I'm John Kitover, and I'm running for mayor. I believe in safe neighborhoods.
Tension spilled over.
I don't think he's somebody
Reading poetry to you.
Pushed out of the right. In my personal opinion.
Listen, his voice doesn't need to be canceled, Pepe. Maybe whatever you want to listen. Again, freedom of speech is freedom of speech. But
John Kitover, and these little neighbors helped me win the race. Our campaign was built on community.
I'm not a journalist, but he's no more a journalist. He's a prostitute. So he does what's in his interest. He's not providing factual journalism, which he was supposedly claimed as. So when people think of Tucker Carlson, people think he's a journalist, we should trust him. So then either we're going to lose all trust to journalism and all journalists, which is really bad too, because where are you going to get your source? Now everybody's going to come to their own fucking conclusions, and that's going to create anarchy. That is not correct either. We need journalism. We need honest journalism. Let's say it
I don't
this way.
consider him a journalist.
But he tied himself to a journalist.
I don't think so.
You might
Chicago is
not.
my home. I'm John Kitover, and I'm running for mayor. I believe in safe neighborhoods, reliable transit, and a city that works for everyone. On February 20th.
Like Tucker Carlson, that becomes dangerous. Because right now he's not even that he's spewing his own opinions. He's spewing an opinion, or he's trying to push a narrative on people. Because he was bought like a prostitute, and that's what makes it dangerous. He might not even stand for it, but he's not bought. It's proven that he was paid.
Oh no,
It was proven. No, that's called being bought. If Donald Trump today took money from another foreign country, he is bought. Correct? Or any type of gift like a house,
if he does their
jewelry, or anything, that is called being bought. You're gonna question what the fuck is going on in the government. He is right now a prostitute that was bought. So now we know he was bought. There's proof that he has been bought. So now he's working on somebody else's interest. And now whatever information he's spewing it for somebody's interest. Now question, where is this interest and where is it gonna lead to? What is the end goal for it? Is it for American destruction? Is it for American division? Is it to make people fucking go against the government? Do you understand where I'm coming with this? That's what makes it fucking danger.
Well, I think you won't like my answer or Tucker Carlson's answer, and I strongly believe that he did have these feelings even when he was at Fox News, which is kind of one of the reasons I like watching him, because most of us knew what he was pointing at. People that were considered far right, like myself. I do think what we would see what we would like to see is a political decoupling of Zionists from American politics. It doesn't mean that there are enemies. It doesn't mean that we don't help them or we against them in any way. But do I think that there is a very, and it's not necessarily, I'm not going to blame Israel per se. I think Netanyahu in particular, he's very savvy, very smooth. He knows Washington very well. And when you get, you also have a lot of Christian Zionist fanatics. It's basically like a perfect recipe where I think that you're going to have emphatic support for Israel in a way that I don't think is the best for the United States. And I just, like to us, I do not I see, especially on the right. Say, the strongest Zionists in America are going to be on the right, and a lot of us have had a really. And this goes back to the neocons, the neoconservatives. A lot of us really do not like them from what we had to put up with from the 2000s, and we just want that group. I don't know, we just don't want them to have nearly as much influence on our politics. That's what me and
So Pepe, you keep talking about Zion as if though you understand the term. Could you please explain to me the secular term of Zionism, and then tell me the biblical?
We're talking about this for years.
No. I'm asking your definition.
Hold on, Edward. What biblical term?
Well, he's asking, because there's biblical, there's Christian Zionism. So I'll answer it.
There's no biblical term.
Yes. No, there's Christian.
So the Zionism was in the Bible.
Hold on.
No. Hold on. I'll explain it. I can answer.
No. Pepe, hold on, Pepe. You cannot explain it if you don't know where it is.
I do know. Stop. Let me answer. So Zionism, which I would say that just the basic Zionism, which is not.
Hold on, Pepe. What does Zionism actually mean? Again, not what people on the left have turned it into, and now you're saying you're far right.
I can't answer the question. I can't answer the question because I keep on getting interrupted.
No,
so Zionism decoupled from Christianity would be that Israel has the right to exist and choose its own destiny and protect itself. That's very basic. And that's something I would say I'm a Zionist in that sense because I believe Israel, like any other country, the country's there. I don't know where these people expect these people to go. I think they have the right to defend themselves. So I'm a Zionist in that way. Now, when it comes to Christian Zionism, which it's almost all evangelicals.
Pepe, hold on one second, guys. Hold on, Pepe. Listen to your terminology, okay? I want you to give me the biblical verse of the word Zion in the Bible. Please, give me the actual verse of what
my Google light for
you
you?
just tell us, because who the fuck has that memorized?
Yeah, and quite frankly, you're asking somebody who
Is retarded.
Who's raised Catholic, where we don't read it. We don't read any of its solo scriptura and just
Solo
scriptura.
scriptura.
Like that's not like most Christianity. You're not allowed to do that for very specific reasons.
Hold on, guys. This is the reason why I asked you your definition. You
Read it, look, no way.
Terminology. You're not giving me the scriptural terminology of what the scripture actually says. Let's talk about it from its origin, not from what men believe it is. Please explain to me from a scriptural standpoint versus you telling me what left and right think about
Okay, once again, I'm not going to bastardize Christianity by doing this solo scriptura stuff.
Solo scriptura.
So I'm not going to say whatever verse, because we do not believe in that.
Exactly. He'll only bastardize one thing. That's what a bastard does.
Christian Zionism was not a thing in Christianity until 150 years ago, with a small group of Anglicans in England, and then it ended up spreading here in the United States. Christianity, so they never used it. I don't even think the scripture, because of course it was translated, they didn't use the term Israel. It was more the sons of Abraham who were going to be would inherit. They would inherit through the teachings of Jesus. They would inherit Christian.
Pepe, could you do me a big favor? Because you say a lot of stuff as if though you're giving people facts. Facts is different than truth, okay?
What did I say that was incorrect when it comes to Catholicism?
Okay, I didn't hear anything about Catholicism, okay? What I hear you
All Christians.
Hold on, Pepe. First of all, Pepe, I
You are incorrect.
Dispensationalism did start in 1800s.
No, Mr. Edward, you have a tremendous feedback coming through on your microphone right now. Like nobody.
Okay, I'm just gonna ask AI, when did
Dispensationalism. Barnabas in 100 AD wrote on the concept of dispensationalism. Irenaeus wrote on it. Hippolytus wrote on it. These are all first century church fathers. So no, you're incorrect. You're not stating fact.
So
The fact that Darby popularized it in the 1800s does not mean it did not exist.
Serendipity, is that better, Serendipity?
Yes.
Yeah, it's better now. So out of all of the big sects of Christianity, which ones were dispensationalists until the 1800s?
Hold on. Okay, Peppy, what you have to do, Peppy, is you have to sometimes listen versus talk. You know what you do a lot, Peppy? You say things as though everybody's understanding your conversation.
It's the Peppy Show. What do you expect?
Because you talk about Zionism as though you think it's only New Testament terminology. It is not.
I never said it was New Testament. This would actually be
I
Old
know
Testament.
it's John. Are you all packed
Hold
up?
on, so why do you keep calling Christians Zionists then? Because my understanding, Peppy, New Testament is what you would call Christendom. Because the Old Testament, there's no term Christian. In the New Testament, it's only mentioned 3 times. And all 3 times it's mentioned, it's negative. So the term Christian is what we call secular. Yeah, it's not biblical. So let's make sure you and I are on the same page when we're having a conversation, because you're using terms in the world that do not equal what you're talking about. Nationalism and Zionism and everything else that you're talking about is completely opposite of what we're talking about.
No, I think you misheard me. I said, what would a secular, non-Christian version of what would just like the basic definition of Zionism be? That would just be granting them the same, saying, yeah, they ought to be able to exist and defend themselves like any other country that you would respect.
Just hold on 1 second. Brad, do you mind lowering yourself just for a minute to let Monica in for some reason you have her blocked, and then come back up?
You know she has me blocked, right?
I don't want to go off with the stuff. Can we let her in, please? Come back up, please.
As long as you don't mod her, fine. Because God forbid we let the whale come and wreck it.
No, don't do that. Okay, so Peppy, nationalism is what you just talked about. There's 195 nations, and they all have a right to govern themselves. The United Nations is not
But I stated that was my non-Christian definition of Zionism.
No. Okay. First of all, listen to what you say. Your non-definition of Zionism is the fact that a nation is to govern themselves. Is that what you're telling me? All nations are independent, correct? Am I wrong or right?
I said my non-Christian definition.
No. You keep saying Christian. If you say Christian, then you eliminate Israel.
Hey, am I going to get my knock back or a BB?
You can support Israel despite being an atheist.
Let her get in the room. Oh, fuck.
She's in.
You can support
Did you feel the heavy weight come on? Like the last
Stop.
So you can support Israel despite what religion you are, despite being an atheist. Okay, it's looking at things at a national, through the lens of nationality and sovereignty. That is the definition I gave. Christian nationalism, that's when dispensationalism comes in. Because almost all Christian Zionists, in other words, they believe it because their faith, like a lot of evangelicals, they're with their end times. Israel and the Jews play a critical role in that, and so the state of Israel, which they look at God at Jews as being God's chosen people, the apple of God's eye, and they are to be there in the state of Israel, their biblical homeland, and with their prophecy, they will be fighting with the whole world, and then second coming of Jesus will come, and hallelujah, things will be great. That's when they say Christian Zionism, they support Israel for distinct
evangelicals, you talk about all these different people groups. But because
they're not even real Christians.
Because of who? Because of you?
Well, no, it's such a deviation from normal Christianity. It's an American bastardization of Christianity.
All right, and because of who? Who makes that claim?
Every Christian denomination makes that claim about
okay.
evangelicals in
I'm
particular.
going to ask you a question, Peppy, and I want you to be honest with me. Could you please name one denomination
Hey,
in the
Andrew.
Catholic Bible
How's your
or
week
the
going?
Protestant Bible? Name one of them.
I'm not familiar with them having it in the
They don't
Bible.
exist. They don't exist. There's no denominations in the Scripture, including Catholicism. They do not.
So therefore, you can be a heretic that deviates from Christianity, and I guess I don't know you.
No, Pepe, you're wrong because
I mean, that's just
you're out of your depth because Ignatius of Antioch was the one that came up with the term the Holy Roman Catholic Church, and it came out of it after Peter, our second pope. That's what we have apostolic succession. So every time he keeps saying, "Oh, I was raised Catholic," you left the Catholic Church a long time ago.
No shit. I never claimed to be a
Ignatius of wait. Saint Ignatius of Antioch was the one that came up with the Catholic Church, which means the universal church. So when you are talking about it, you're just like, oh, the Zionist this, the Zionist that, and everything Zionist and whatever. You know what I mean? Edward is actually trying to educate you. And you're not listening. You're just like trying to fight it.
Okay, but
you're trying to
we can look at all of the Protestant denominations. Hold on. We can look at all of the Protestant denominations.
Yeah, but you also.
But hold on. We can look at all of the Orthodox churches, okay, throughout the world. We can look at, of course, this is going to be throughout the Middle East, Asia, and Africa, and then we can look at the Catholic Church. They all, for the most part, say it is heretical, and they make it absolutely clear. And that's because they don't hold Jews to this standard where, in other words, Christianity, for the most part, believe you find salvation through Christ. We're all God's people. Nobody's special.
And if you knew anything about biblical Zionism, you would know that they don't think that either. Like, the fact that you're up here saying that really indicates that you're
they think they're going to go to hell. Like,
No. This is embarrassing.
No, it's not. Shut up, you low IQ. God damn.
It's embarrassing.
That's all you do. Oh, you're a Muslim. Oh, I used to got raped at 9 years old. These Muslims, they have nothing intelligent to say. Shut up.
You're saying it on Palm Sunday. It's embarrassing.
But no, like, and I don't know. Maybe Serenity or she's like a evangelical or serendipity. I don't know. But where did any of these religions? But she also cannot go against what I said. Like serendipity. Where do any of these denominations support Israel is based upon their religion, where it involves prophecy?
There are multiple denominations that support Zionism biblically. It's not about the denomination. It's about their whether they believe in amillennialism or millennialism, and that divide is across all denominations. Like you couldn't say, oh, the Baptists are all the evangelicals and they're bad, or the Presbyterians. It has more to do with their eschatology and what they think about amillennialism or premillennialism. The people that tend to take scripture more literally tend to fall more within the quote-unquote dispensations of church history.
So are these
the people that take scripture more allegorical tend to lean more towards the amillennialism camp.
Sure, and so I guess my question would be these different. Shut the fuck up, Jack, because you don't know. You're just gonna. No, because I'm asking. It's a follow-up. We're asking questions. Shut up. Shut up.
Do you know Pope John Paul? Do you know Pope John Paul II? Wait. Do you know Pope John Paul?
Yeah.
Wait. Do you know that Pope John Paul? No, you don't know this because I want to educate you. Do you know Pope John Paul II in 1994 recognized the state of Israel?
Yes, as a nation. Amazing. Yes. Yes.
You didn't.
Yeah. Okay. You've had because of all of the. Shut your fucking mouth. You're so fucking stupid. You're not saying First of all, there's a lot of people claiming to be Catholic that are being overtly anti-Semitic online. You've had a lot of bishops come out online and they said, hey, let's be clear. If you're going to be anti-Semitic and hateful, that is clearly sinful. You cannot do that. You can absolutely be a supporter of the state of Israel. You can absolutely recognize the state of Israel and say that they have these rights and all of that stuff. The only difference is that we don't have, in Catholicism, they don't have a religious obligation to somehow want to believe in why their eschatology doesn't involve the fucking nation state of Israel and Jews. So why are they going? It's not a religious thing for them. Just like it's probably not a religious thing for fucking Hindus or the Muslims that support Israel. It has nothing to do with being anti-Israel. And you get that dumb Prajan bitch who I guess converted to Catholicism like a couple weeks ago, and she somehow wants to be a Catholic warrior when she's just a young fucking ex-porn star. She's a stupid bitch, and she doesn't speak for all of us.
Okay, Pepe, can I...
Why that word?
Pepe, okay, first of all, you need to raise your voice. And I don't know why a person who claims to be Catholic...
I'm not a Catholic. I haven't been to church in 20 fucking years.
Okay, Pepe. I have no idea why you're yelling, Pepe. It's pretty. So, Pepe, I've asked you a question. To know why. Could you please explain to me? You said that Jesus, what nationality would you claim Jesus to be?
I don't know if they even had a fucking nation, had a tribe.
Oh, okay. So you don't know what tribe he's from?
Pharisees?
Oh, wow. Okay, so Pepe, this is what I'd like for you to do for now.
I know he was born in Nazareth.
Okay, and where's Nazareth? No, okay. You know what you're doing right now, Pepe? You say a whole lot about Zionism and all this other thing, but you know what you don't know? You got to go back and go to the genesis of what you're talking about, because it's very sad when you don't even know that the man himself was born based on prophecy in Israel. Jesus, the person that...
Where was his family from?
Nazareth.
Nazareth.
And Nazareth is in where?
It wouldn't be considered Israel at the time.
No, okay, I'm going to tell you again. I've been there 3 times, okay? I don't know what other place you ever think of, but I can clearly tell you that all Old Testament that was prophesied that where Jesus would be born, and every prophecy he fulfilled them. Okay, no one else. I don't know where you come up with the fact that he was bar mitzvah, he went to synagogue, he had the same trade as his father, Joseph. I don't know when you have these conversations what you're actually talking about. Or Zionists and all this other stuff. I want you to do yourself this big favor. As a quote-unquote Catholic or Roman Catholic, whatever, please go and find out who Jesus actually is first, and then come back and have a conversation about it.
Literally, he's part God, part of the Holy Trinity.
Because he wasn't born in Nazareth. Hold on.
No, he wasn't born in Nazareth.
What did he mean he was in Rome? No, he wasn't born in Nazareth, right?
No,
he was born in Bethlehem.
He was born in Bethlehem.
Mary's from Nazareth.
But that was Roman territory, wasn't it? Like
yes, it was not Israel at the time.
Yeah, it was Rome. He was born as a Roman. He fell under Roman. Augusta, I believe, was. He was born as a Jew. Yeah, he was a Jew under Rome. He was Roman.
I'm not. Nobody here is trying to claim that.
Guys, hold on, guys. First of all, I want you to do yourself a major favor, just for all of us. If we're going to talk about anything historical, let's go with the historical, biblical facts. Whether you want historical facts or biblical facts.
We just did that. Augustus was Caesar. Under that, Herod was the king of Nazareth at the time of his birth, and various local leaders and kings could hold their territory under Caesar's and under Roman rule. But ultimately, Rome, it was the Empire of Rome. He was born as a citizen.
He's right. Brad's right. But it was also it was the Roman General Pompey, but it was in the region of Judea.
I thought it was outside of Judea.
No, it was in Judea.
Knowledge today. Just a
It was in 63 BCE.
Hold on, guys. Today is considered Palm Sunday. Okay?
Amazing.
I know, amazing.
He named him the King of the Jews.
The thing is, though, is that he mocked him as King of the Jews. Like with Pontius Pilate, when they turned him in because they wanted to execute him. They said they mocked him by saying he quote King of the Jews. But he had what was considered by many, I'm not a historian, but what would be considered heretical sect of Judaism. And so, yes, he had his followers, and they were Jews. The original Christians were Jews. Amazing. Nobody's denying that part.
Shit, and then if you look at his time frame, the Christians, how violent they were burning the city, killing Roman children. They set fire to the north end. They created they destroyed the water flow into the east end of the city. So,
Very barbaric times for everybody back then. But if he's king of the Jews, so he has 12 disciples, but the Jews that actually had power ended up turning him in because he was a false god. He was an apostate, and they wanted to have him executed.
Smash and grab robberies are down tonight in Chicago. City officials credit Mayor John Kitover's new policing strategy. Here's what he told reporters earlier. When families feel safe again, Chicago comes in with blood crime and those smash and grab robberies.
That's not accurate. The reason why the Jews are blamed is because they could have prevented his assassination, but they chose not to. It's not that they turned him in or they did any of that. They had a choice to defend him, and they chose not to. That's why people blame the Jews.
No. He was actually detained by the what the fuck do you call them at the time? The officials. Forget what they were called. No, talking about the group. They're related to the religion or their temple or whatever, and they detained him. Now they wanted to execute him for some reason. They said well, no, we're under Roman jurisdiction at this time. We can't do this. And so while he was in, they ended up telling and you can look this up. I mean, I'm not making this shit up. That's when they made the case to Pontius Pilate, who was not really that interested, but they did tell him oh look, he's a fake. A false god. That's when they mockingly said he calls himself the King of the Jews, and he wants to basically do a revolt or rebellion against the Romans, and he was ultimately found guilty and executed. It's not. I'm not. And look, a lot of people get stuck on you start trying to say the Jews killed. No, the original fucking Christians were Jewish. Nobody's trying to say the Jews were the bad guys. And then the Romans, the fucking pagans that ended up killing them. Ultimately, okay? There's no... If anything, there's only one group of people that were good. And that was the Jews that became Christian. So nobody's trying to, blame it on the Jews. And the Catholic Church makes it clear that we should not collectively blame Jews for... Jesus' death. He died for our sins, all of our sins. We can't blame Jews, whatsoever. We can't. It's not fair. It's not right. It's not accurate. So, that's not the case I'm going with.
Then why is it they just keep talking about Zionists, the Jews, like Tucker Carlson, and all sorts of retards?
Doesn't Zionism exist in all religions? They check. Doesn't, because Muslims believe in eradication. Hold on. No. Because you did this thing. You keep saying this thing. I don't care. I'm just saying, if you're gonna go down and bitch about Christian Zionism, did the Muslims come up here and go?
Talk about Christian Zionism.
Don't they claim Zionism? The Jews, the fucking twat waffles that believe in a fat guy. I'm sorry, I'm just stepping over Monica's fupa here, but I mean, the idea that somehow all these religions have Zionism written into them, where they want to expand, they want to convert people, they want to bring more to their fold. Literally, the foundation principle of all religious groups across the world are designed to bring people into their masses. So Zionism and its eternal right to exist and expand. The Muslims say they're going to conquer the world, right? They say, we're going to take over your territory. We're going to kill the great Satans. We're going to kill all of them and take control of their lands. Right? Do they not do that?
The thing is, you're wrong because Jews don't proselytize like Muslims or Christians. But the Muslim, to become a Muslim, you have to say La ilaha illallah and all that.
Okay, you're not answering his question.
And wait. All you have to do is say that, and then you're a Muslim. You don't even have to know the book. You don't even have to know the Quran.
They have to sell you on the fucking idea.
All I'm trying to say, wait. All I'm trying to say is that when these people, these modern day, like, you know what I call them? I call them edgelords. They think it's nice right now to be anti-Semitic, to hate on the Jews, and Candace, all of these retards, constantly.
Still not answering the
question, by the way. Wait, let me finish.
He's talking about Zionism being a part of other religions like Islam.
You don't even believe. You said you haven't been to church in 20 years.
But you're not answering the question.
Give me a break.
My belief has nothing to do with this.
Let me land.
God damn, you're so retarded.
Let me land. You haven't been to church in 20 years. So when these people say...
So now I'm going to step in here. I don't care about you landing. What I care about is an answer to my question.
You guys are such...
No. For fuck's sake, you can't answer a simple question. I said, is there not Zionism that exists across every religious demographic group? Is there not? Is it not? Because I can go through all the wars. I know for sure shit there's one in India. There's a caste system that still prevails today. I know for fuck's sake that Japan had one, a whole fucking religious war, and they were like fucking meeting in the fields of battle wearing sharkskin armor and fucking wielding swords. So, and then they conquered and they wanted their ideology to be the preeminent reign and they wanted to expand it out to the world. So does not Zionism exist in all of its principles in every fucking religious organization out there?
No, Zionism...
No, it doesn't. Okay.
No.
Why? How? You got to prove this wrong.
Wait. You wanted to answer the question. Zionism is just a simple thing. It comes from Europe, and all the things. I mean, in 1972, they passed Zionism Zionism is racist. They passed Zionism as terrorism and everything. They had to rewrite it in the 1990s because of it. And people just take the propaganda and eat it up because of the clicks and everything else like that. Why do you think all these wars ever since Elon Musk?
Morning, Chicago. Today we got a lot of that has nothing to do with the question.
In office, Mayor John Kitover has already
There's all sorts of religious supremacists. Catholics believe it. The Mormons do. Fucking hype the 31 Baskin Robbins flavors of Christianity.
Mayor John Kitover.
So again, I mean, I haven't met a single one. Muslims do. I mean,
bro, if you've made up your
mind, absolutely.
I mean, Christians have largely fought with each other about how heretical they think the other group is, and they fucking kill each other over this goddamn differences for centuries.
Hey, Chuck, you're not participating in the conversation. You just want to say like your little shtick over and over, and I'm tired. No, you don't get 2 seconds. You get to answer the question, and that's it.
New mayor.
That's it.
Bro, you think it takes 2 seconds to answer a fucking question?
Yes, I do. Next.
I got a question, Brad. Can I answer this question? Sorry, hello, Daryl.
Go ahead. Oh, you can answer it. I'm just sick and tired of
this is a very good question, sir. Actually, I'm from Afghanistan, and I just grew in an Islamic society. And that's very clear that Islamic Zionism exists since at the beginning of the Islam. There is many countries which is based on Islamic states, and they are trying to expand that. You see that the Muslim were invaded until the Spain. They were there for a long time. So what was that? What was the definition for that area? So if that wasn't Islamic Zionism, so what was the definition for that? And their Sharia law is based on Zionism. So my question is, I strongly support the Israel. So I mean, the people are just doing the hypocrisy. You know, they are not. Their vision is not stand on reality. Mainly the people who are related relevant to Islamic ideology. They are super hypocritic and they don't pay attention what's the Zionism. Mostly of them, they don't know the definition of the Zionism. So if they know the definition of the Zionism, they will come that the Sharia law is stand on Zionism. It's just two different terms. Which is calling Sharia law. My definition is for that. It's the Zionism, Islamic Zionism. But the thing is, what is the difference between the Israel Zionism and the Islamic Zionism? Is this two different definition. Israel is just they are trying to have their own rights to be exist. They don't send the jihadists to the other countries, and they don't talk about this religion supremacy, and they don't want to talk about invasion in other countries. But the Islamic Zionism is very different, and they want how expand all around the world, and they are just going to different countries as the immigrants, and they are doing their expansion of the Islam ideology, and they are spending $1 trillion on that. Look at most of Arabic rich countries; they are spending this money on this. Iran is spending money. So and they are just doing this kind of activities since at the beginning of the Islam. You see the expansion of the Islam.
Iran or something? He said he's from Afghanistan.
Yes, I'm from Afghanistan.
I'm just curious. This is the one thing that I'm curious about. So you brought it up. So I can understand like Sunni Muslims, somewhat all Muslims, similar to Christians that we proselytize. Now I do, if I recall correctly, one of the main differences between Sunni and Shia Muslims, the Shia, the leaders generally have to be a descendant of Muhammad. Is that correct, or is that too simplistic?
There is two different definitions about the Shia and actually the Sunni. Even the Sunni Muslim is not calculating the Shia as a Muslim, but and most of them in the belief that the Shia is not a Muslim. If you listen to the Shia is saying, or the Sunni is not a Muslim. So because the conflict is just begun because of the different vision about the sovereignty of the Islamic State on the beginning, which was a conflict between the Muhammad family, what he's saying. So that division just created at the beginning of the Islam. But now there is two different. If you see the books, the references, they have a different vision and the single issue of the Islam. And so there is
what does this all have to do with Iran?
Well, no. I asked him a question. It's completely pertinent. He's asking.
No, I know.
I was asking
We went off on a tangent, guys, for like 3 hours.
No, maybe it's my fault. I actually asked because it was getting repetitive between Edward and Pepe about Zionism, and Pepe was doing a good job standing on his own. And then you had a Chew sit there and like start doing his little soundbite things. And it was Christian Zionism was the attack, and people were getting offended. But my point broadly, I mean, of course, it was correlated to Jews. Of course, obviously, it was going to go down that pathway. But Zionism exists in every cult of religion. All right, I'll retract my words because I know a lot of you are believers, and I respect a lot of you. Some of you I have zero. But the idea that Zionism does not exist in its principality on every religion has it. It has some form of it. It has some expansionist. It has some right to manifest destiny, you want to call it. This is what got us here. And the young gentleman that
John Kitover is already making good on a campaign promise
from Afghanistan, and he agreed with me. So it's actually we turned the conversation around. We got to like.
Globally, just hypothetically. Now, it's my understanding that you have to be a descendant of Muhammad to be a leader of any kind. Would that mean that only they could be leaders and not any of us peons that are not a descendant of the Prophet Muhammad?
No, actually, my question is actually what freaking
Pepe.
I will come to your answer, but my question is,
So
I quite agree with the Waking, a lot of good sense.
Hey friends, one thing I do every day is one scoop of longevity mix. I built this for myself. I've now built it for you. It's good for all genders, all ages. What we did is we researched all the scientific literature. We found.
Thank you, Delegate. There's a point of privilege on microphone 1, then we'll go to microphone 3. Go ahead, Delegate. Yes.
And they
Get
kept
up
my
here,
kids by swords.
Get up on stage, bro.
No, my sword. No, by the sword. When they came to my countries, to the territory by swords, the reason was they said, we want to expand the territory of the Islam. The state, we should make the more
Point of privilege and
based
priority,
on,
Rob.
Islamic Sharia states, which is still existing all around the world. So that's
Thank you, Delegate.
why the people are not mentioning still the expansion of the territories by the name of the Sharia law and it's ongoing. And the people are not mentioning that. My question is why only the Judaism, why only the Jew, why only the Israel is the topic? Why people are not talking about,
bro? No Jews,
I mean,
no Jews, they don't give a fuck.
Dude, why you're derailing, bro? Again.
I'm telling you.
If I may, sorry. So are you saying or suggesting that we should fund and arm the Muslim Zionism?
Well, technically, we already did.
that is already exist. That's already exist.
We've done it, didn't we?
At the
We
beginning
trained
of the
Afghanistan not once but twice. We did it in Iraq.
Give me a time. I just want to explain. When the Muhammad just came, he expanded.
No, you're
He
talking
withdraw the Jew from the Mecca, from Medina. You cannot say.
No, I think he's lost in. Hold on. Oh, I think he's lost in translation. They're not implying that Muslims or that all religions supported Israeli Zionism, but that like within their faith they have something similar to Zionism.
No, I just have a point to make here. The difference between what he's suggesting now, like that happened 1400 years ago. Now we have international law, and we have like law that and code of conduct that we should follow. So justifying what Zionism are doing now, or Zionists what are doing now to what the Muslims did 1400 years ago is not very justified.
No, we're talking about even today. But even if we look at like what is fucking Iran doing today? Like you're acting like that. You're acting like what they do is okay internationally. Like this is so fucking retarded.
No. They are still doing that. Look at the African countries. What they are doing in my country currently. You're saying that it's just for not just only for the Muslims. So they are still doing that, and all around the world they are doing that.
What country?
You don't say
Afghanistan, baby. Okay.
No, like that's just what the gentleman just meant here. These are extreme.
Not just only mention, just study the whole geographic of the Islamic State, what they are doing that.
No.
What these people are doing for the Sharia law. Yeah. You guys still are trying to convert the peoples, and by the force. I can give the examples in Pakistan. I can give the example in Africa. You see how they are killing the Christian in Nigeria. So why they are doing so? Why they are doing Somalia? What is going on in Somalia? You know that?
No, that like if you make.
So why the people are no? There is we have a different groups by the name which is based on Islamic names and who are trying to bring the practices of the Islamic Sharia and all around the world. And they are trying to do that by swords, by words. That's their... And what I'm just saying, it's wrong, it's false information. Israel never started the war. Hezbollah is starting the war when they're using the victim cards. Hamas is starting the war and they're using the victim cards. Why? Why are you guys just using the victim cards?
Well, maybe
on the beginner, when you come to the point when you're a loser and then using the victim cards?
No, you're correct. They did, like with October 7th, and a lot of people, and this is kind of how social media works. Okay, we have very short attention spans, and so everybody's horrified, especially in the West. And this is where human biases really take place. You see a country that looks similar to America. You have some whites and browns and whatever, kind of looks like the U.S. and they're in a modern country, they're at a concert doing shit that people do in Western countries, or a rave, I should say. shows people walking around what look like Western neighborhoods, getting gunned down, grandmas getting shot, people getting, poor innocent laborers who have nothing to do with the conflict, like those poor Thai workers, getting kidnapped and killed. Just really horrible shit. And you did see. Now, I think Israel's perfect by no fucking means. Do I think they have a lot of issues? Yes, absolutely. I mean, I'm not going to simp for Israel, but after October 7th, they absolutely they had to stomp a knot or tie a knot in Hamas's ass. Like that was too much. And there's still one thing that like stands out to me to this day. And a few weeks leading up to it, I remember there was a guy who like went into a synagogue and he shot a few people, but then he got shot by an armed Israeli. And the first thing that happens is that like in Gaza, people are lighting off fireworks and handing out candies. I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? Like, that's so weird. But population celebrates that.
After 9/11, on the same streets of Gaza, on the same streets they handed out candies for October 7th, were handed out for the guys, for 9/11. These guys, those videos are old. They're still on YouTube. Watch how Gaza celebrated 9/11.
Yeah, of course. And
and I get it. And that's another thing.
You guys are all America first. American Israel, I told you. Same fucking shit, but you guys are trying to divide it. And
I'm not trying to divide anything.
And they want you there as much as they want us.
Yeah,
You guys should say thank you to the Jews, is that we're in the way for them. Because until they don't finish us up, they're not going to try to come for you.
Sure, but I don't...
That's why you should say thank you for the Jews for being there and fucking taking the first punch. We're basically the human shield for you guys.
Okay, but I'm not simping for the Muslims and their terrorists that they have. But I'll just wrap it up and make it really quick. The one thing that really stood out is that you had I think her first name ended with an I, but very young girl. I think I saw a picture before she was dead and mangled. Pretty young girl, probably had a nice life in front of her, but here she is like mangled in the back of a pickup truck being fucking molested.
Yeah, I remember that was. Yeah.
And then what I remember is they driving right into fucking Gaza, and the people cheering. The first instinct of these people is to run up and just like hit her body, spit on her body. And I'm thinking to myself, like, I can drive into Mexico with a dead white girl.
Danny Luke? Are you talking about Johnny Luke?
Yeah, Pepe. And these are the same innocent civilians, and you know that there's a death toll in Gaza that they say innocent, and they're not distinguishing between Hamas.
No. The irony was not lost on me.
In Gaza, they elected Hamas. They elected those people to govern them, to act like barbarians. And this is what the government returned back to the population.
For sure, and
so
the irony. The irony was not lost.
Americans, I want to pick up that little Palestinian flag again.
Yeah, the irony was not lost on me, and I remember thinking to myself, like, you could go into like any part of Mexico with a dead American girl in the back of a car, and they'd be like, oh, Dios míos, oh my God, like they'd be like, holy shit, that's so horrible. You would not see like Mexicans spitting and kicking her. Like, it was so goddamn barbaric. It is so fucking weird.
Yeah, you had I don't know, fucking Karen cities on here asking for reparations, arguing with Bibi that you need to make reparations because he's a Jew to those same people who celebrated and spit on a young girl. And I mean, shit, I wish we would have killed them all because they had no problem doing that to Americans, and yet people seem to forget that there were Americans killed, and I would have murdered them all.
Yeah,
this is the reality.
Can I have one conversation? Shortcoming. You can add that. Please, sorry guys to say that. You can see if you go to the United States, all Muslim mosques, they will just still are coursing on the 5 times of a prayer, the Israel and Nasara. Nasara means like people who are not Muslims. and those mosques are funded by the United States government, and they do not have a control on that. Remember what's their hypocrisy? One day I was in the mosque, I was telling, can you guys pray for 410 people who just died under the bombardment of the Pakistani aircrafts in Afghanistan, and they killed the drug addicted people, and they bombard the addiction center and the Kabul center. Do you know what they said? Those Arabs start to say that those Muslims, imam who were like, and there were a bunch of other people and Muslims said, no, we are not playing the politics here. Don't mentioning these things. I will just, wait. You guys are praying here 5 times, and the 5 times pray you are cursing the Israel, and you are praying for the Palestinians. So we are against or other people who are under the suffer. We are not human beings. We are not a Muslim. So what I'm just saying, these people are really hypocritic, and I'm fully as I'm Afghan, I fully support the Netanyahu. I fully support the Israel. They have rights to defend themselves, and you guys should be not affected by the wrong propaganda of what's ongoing in the social media. And Palestinians are making the fake videos, and we knew that I know there is something is wrong going. We not say that 100% are fake, but 95% are the fake videos. We calling those acting like Hollywood.
Yeah,
so
but
that's
hold
why
on,
the sentence.
hold on.
That's it.
What the rule needs to be asking, I didn't understand. But what the room and what the world needs to be asking is, so all these pro-Pali supporters were crying about Gaza last year. But nobody's upset about what's going on with the Iranian people. In fact, the pro-Palis are against them, calling them liars, calling them scumbags.
Yes, because the Zionists, it's a friend of my enemy distinction, and if we look at it absolutely is. If you look at the people that are pro-Palestine, these people only support the IRGC.
Well, I'll tell you, hold on. So they're so deranged that they believe that Israel is attacking the IRGC to deflect the court case that Bibi has over bribery over a box of cigars.
Said that on October 7th, too. They said the gospel.
Do you guys realize how retarded that is?
But I wanted to say, Bibi, this is where the hypocrisy, going back to what we were talking about earlier.
Cigars.
Like what we were talking about earlier. Actually, shut the fuck up.
Actually correct. No. He's actually correct, Pepe, on this front. He actually knows what he's talking about. Please listen to Pepe on this. Right.
Amazing. So.
Wow, you got endorsed by
I don't think he knows what I'm gonna say, but
you just got endorsed. You should take it.
Yeah. Well, thank you, I guess. But there is a reality that if those, and I expressed this many times, if those were my people, that just let's just say they were like people that were like Corsican and Acadian that lived in,
the Corsicans and the Acadians.
Apes came into this country and they did what they did on October 7th. I'm not gonna lie, like I would, wrath and fury would be what I was seeing. I would be for doing like.
Not gonna lie.
And, in first world countries, however, we do show a level of restraint. And I don't. Of all of the criticism, you've heard me talk about Israel and Zionists. You've not heard me really bitch about what's happening in Gaza. The reality is, though, I think that if that happened to the U.S., the number one concern is, okay, they did this to us, we're going to go in there and we're going to fucking rats. And the number one priority, killing the enemy and prioritizing the return of American soldiers. And so if it meant that, well, I mean, we have to blow the place up. So, we don't want our young American boys,
The return of the American boys and girls that were captured
cut him off. He's autistic. Let him finish.
I'm just saying, you guys are complaining that Israel is doing a joint
You can talk for like 2 hours.
forces with America right now. That America somehow fucking is doing a favor to Israel. No, one hand washes the other. That's what we say in life.
I think apply. Sorry, like can
But we look at it differently as Americans. I look at a Jewish American as
I've been
being.
talking for 2 hours, man.
I look at it like an Israeli American, and this is where you guys are gonna probably hate me and say I'm racist or whatever. But I look, they're a problem, but they're kind of not. They are. At the end of the day, they are. You know, it's like if a Mexican American who has citizenship in both Mexico and America is being mistreated in Mexico. Do I look at? Would I consider it differently than if this is some gringo who got locked up in Mexico who's only has an American citizenship? Yes, absolutely, because he's a pure foreigner. Whereas somebody with dual citizenship is or
But multiple people in America have it. Some of us have Irish and American citizenship. Doesn't mean we're not American.
Irish should be banned from America.
There you go then. But really, they're Americans, period, at the end of the day. And I don't give a shit. We should go after anybody who harms an American. Like that stance of saying, oh, they're dual citizenship. They have it for a variety of reasons. They could be, I don't know, they could be Polish and American. You're allowed to have it.
Guys, we have new people on the stage. I want to welcome Gazelle, Kevin, Rebby, Mountain, and Alan. I want to hear from some new voices.
I know. I just want to add something to Viking, please. Doesn't matter if they're a foreigner. If America collectively gave them a citizenship and now is representing them as an American whole, they become an American. They contribute to society as much as any other American. America has the same obligations to that American who holds the citizenship, to the same person that was born in America. Doesn't matter if your parents were both immigrants and they just birthed you. In America, you have the same rights once you get that citizenship, because America collectively gave you that citizenship as a whole.
And they have the same obligations to support our country and support it in a time of war. And if they don't, they can get the fuck out.
100%.
Is this Clubhouse? Is this professional advice?
Yes, go ahead. You reached the headquarters. How can we help you?
Para español, prime dos.
Okay, bro. We're having a honestly a fucking amazing discussion. This is not a troll room.
Yeah, I'm sorry if I...
So,
No, I'm not a troll, but think about it, bro. Don't get too serious either, right? Go touch some grass.
Alright?
Like, I'm just, I don't know. All I hear about it es la verga, güey. A la verga.
Puta, pinche cabrón.
¿Por qué no se checa mi verga, puto?
So, Gazelle, Kevin, Mountain, or Alan.
Have a beer.
Cállate, my shoote. Okay, anyway. Or Euro, I want to pass the mic. I want to hear from somebody new.
No, I just have a question to Pepe. He brought in like a logic. Someone captured his boys and he would go in and blow the other place up and get his boys out. Does that apply to everyone or just your group of people?
It applies to everybody. Because I'm talking about I would say like it's part of human nature that would constitute a natural reaction for any group of people.
I agree. So do you know that there's Palestinians captured in Israeli prison for years now without even
oh my God,
like any charges against them?
Stop talking about
No, just a second. But if you guys want to talk about it,
Let him finish. Actually, let him finish.
What I'm saying is, if you guys want to talk in like echo chamber between each other, then
no, we don't. But let's have proper discussion then. Hold on. But I want to have this discussion with you because so you think that all of those Gazans they're all innocent?
I'm not saying that. What I'm saying, if you
hold on, if you want to have a proper discussion, why the fuck are you yelling?
I'm sorry.
Do you believe they're innocent?
Who explain there's no
Hold on.
charges
How do
against
you
them?
think they got there? Wait, hold on.
How do you explain there's no charges against them for years? They just
How do you think they got there?
because the IDF have a big gun and they can go and capture whoever they want.
What do you mean capture? You don't capture people. What do you think they did? They just said eating, mining, mold, let's get gas inside the boat.
Well, they do worse than that. I'm gonna steal that from you. So why are you so? No, like we're just trying to have a meaningful conversation here.
I want to, but it's hard whenever you're eating crayons, brother. Good.
So like you think they by the law they just do whatever the law is saying and
yeah, I think they're following the word of the law, and when people stab people and they throw rocks at tanks and throw rocks at people and they're stabbing and they're setting up little attacks, I think they deserve to be detained with due process and sent to prison. And unfortunately, they don't have like a shooting thing where they shoot people in the head. I believe they should do that, like a firing squad. I don't think these people should see the light of day.
But BB, I do think there is charges against them.
How do you know that? How do you know that?
Oh, it's not confidential information. You can look it up.
Yeah, I mean there is. They get away with doing a lot of egregious shit. That is true. First of all, when you have mandatory conscription, okay, and so imagine your voter base, which is pretty much all Israelis, that as long as they're not, Haredi, they are going to, they all have skin in the game because all of their kids are going to go into the IDF. Do they want a level of insurance that their kid is, if they kind of like fuck up, they're not going to be, their life is not going to be destroyed? Yeah, we're talking, like, once again, that's a very human thing. That Americans, I think, cannot necessarily appreciate. That's why it's more complicated in Israel.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Let me ask this gentleman a question. So, Gazelle, are you on the phone? Gazelle?
Yeah, I hear you. Sorry, I'm just forgetting.
How many Gazans are detained? Hello? Gazelle?
Sorry, yeah, go ahead.
How many Gazans are detained?
I don't know the exact number, but in one exchange they released hundreds of them.
No, but they released? I thought we're worried about
when
the
they
ones
did
that
the
are
exchange.
detained.
If you guys are following, when they did the exchange with the captives, they exchanged them with hundreds of people who were in prison for.
Okay, so this is in Israel law, and in 2002, with wartime amendments, it allows indefinite detention of individuals from enemy territories, primarily Gaza in this context, based on security, intelligence, and criminal charges or political rights. It functions similarly to administrative detention, but is also tailored for wartime Gaza detainees. So these people had something done to them. I mean, they did something right, and that's why they're being detained.
How do you know if they weren't in front of?
How do you know if they were?
How do you know that anybody in jail in the United States committed a crime that they committed? Like
Exactly.
This is a silly game to commit. But
how many innocent people in the United States of America are in prison? Because
there's going to be some of them, obviously. And
no, I know, because how many do you believe that are in the United States?
There's almost 11,000 Palestinians in Brazil under Israeli detention prison. 2,900 of them are being detained without being charged.
Yeah, that's a lie. It's 1,287.
Yeah,
you said 11,000. It's 1,287.
Security concerns.
It's 1,287 is the number. It's 1,287.
Okay, maybe if you hold on for a second, you will see that I will swing back around to how
I'll shut up.
Okay, thank you. Well, you can talk. You're on, but let me finish and let me just say, what's his name? Gazelle. Okay, I understand. The Palestinians had their moment. And now we're at war with Iran. And you've lost the limelight. Now, that doesn't change your situation or plight, but it changes the world's attention. So if you want to bring it up, you're really not going to get much sympathy the way you did. I'm sorry, that's the way it is. Right now, whatever supporters you had in the United States are more concerned about the war with Iran. When it's over, maybe we can go back to paying attention to fight and all of that. That's the first thing. The second thing is it's a numbers issue. All right? There's 9 million, about 9 million Israelis and 2 million Palestinians. So in that particular case, Israel is the larger population. Now, in this particular war, there's about 90 million Iranians and 9 million Israelis. So now they are the minority. So that's why the dynamics of this discussion change. Now, maybe you don't like it. That's the way it is. Third of all, Israel is being useful to the United States. And that's what Israel and Jewish people tend to be, whether you like it or not. So if they are useful to us, we will support them more. Have Palestinians been to the United States a significant way? When you have an answer to that question, then maybe you will find that the narrative around Palestinians will change. But right now, the current perception is, as my chat, all we see coming from Islam is stabby, stabby, we hate America. I'll leave it there.
So just a quick question. Was that the case before the Soviet invasion to Afghanistan?
Let only Alan answer this, please, people.
And what does that have to? First of all, I know the answer.
Just an innocent question.
I don't, as an American, I don't care.
Okay. I think you should for these following reasons.
We are engaged in a military conflict right now, and as an American, with American lives that be at risk and having been lost, I am going to support our country. I am not interested in what the Soviet Union did in Afghanistan. I am not going to lay blame. I am not going to engage in rhetoric nor support rhetoric that says, oh my gosh, we brought this upon ourselves. It's our policies. Bullshit. You don't like us? Don't sell us oil. That's my message to anyone in the Middle East. Don't like us? Don't take our money. Don't sell us oil, and stop using it to fund terrorists against us, because it's hypocritical.
Okay.
Don't. Period.
Okay.
Next is Euro. Hold on, Gazelle. Euro, go ahead.
Well, as a regular citizen, there's no regular.
Hold on, Gazelle. Euro, go ahead.
So yeah, I was just gonna say the U.S. itself also has a different practice for unlawful combatants, and so they're treated separately in the system. So there's nothing that unusual about that. And the figure given earlier about 1237 is exactly correct. That was the figure as of January of this year. It's down from 2,500 from last year. This idea that people are being held for years and years without charges is only true in a very small number of rare cases, and it's being treated like, oh, this is typical. So 59% of all cases are resolved in 6 to 12 months time. 92% in under 2 years. So you're talking about a very small number that go beyond that range. So it's definitely not typical, and I think this suggestion that people being picked up are arbitrarily is just completely unfounded.
Say something here. This guy Gazelle, he
Palestinians very innocent and, were victims and, the Palestinians are victims. I mean, it is, that girl, that German girl who got spitted upon and killed in Gaza wasn't killed because she was the enemy. She was killed and humiliated and insulted and raped because she was a non-Muslim, because she was a war booty. That is why. I'm from India, and India and Pakistan go to war quite a lot. We have skirmishes along the border. When Pakistani soldiers get killed, the Indian army puts them in coffins and returns their body across the border. But when an Indian soldier gets killed in Pakistan, they cut his balls, they cut his head, they stuff the balls in the mouth, and that's how they throw the bodies back alongside the border. Because to them, we're not enemies. We're Hindus. We're the non-Muslims. So, even if Israelis illegally occupied Palestine, hatred for Israel is not because you guys are the occupiers. Hate is because you're Jews, that you're not Muslims. That is why they support IRGC against these protesters and demonstrators, because the demonstrators are anti-Islam. Even though they hate the IRGC themselves because they're Shia, and these guys are Sunni. But they will always favor Islam, and only then they will care about Shia or Sunni, and then be non-Muslims. That is how they do. That is how they operate. That's how they think. And this is in the
I think that's a half truth. I mean, the reality is though is that look, I don't want to shit on the Israelis. They went through a very tough time. They did forcefully locate, especially a lot of Christian people that were living in the area. They did a lot of shit that I would say was very unfair. But we're talking, what is this going about 80, 70 plus years ago? Whatever. This shit has happened. They're not perfect, just like the U.S. isn't. Now, I will say this. When it came to quote-unquote resistance fighters, now if you look at the time when you had the resistance fighters where they were way less Islamic, they were pan-Arabic, many of them were Christian. I would say it wasn't, I don't know how much of it was necessarily anti-Semitic. I mean, you had people in Europe that had these resistance movements, whether it was the Corsicans, the Basque, the Irish, for I would say less of a provocation, they ended up having these violent resistance movements, and I'm not going to say that it was necessarily morally wrong for some people to put up a resistance in decades past, but I would say what you see today with the resistance against the Israelis, it's far more Islamicist. It's very barbaric and ugly. I can't co-sign anything that they're doing, but I'm not against. I'm trying to hold everybody to the same standard, basically. But whether it comes to the resistance to the
You said the key thing. You said it a couple times tonight. You said they're not perfect.
Exactly.
I know what the number one problem is that I've been hearing on this app. And it's guys like 6 Hour that are raping my back channels right now. And then sending me pictures of emojis of shit, Israel flag, and an F you. He thinks that's going to get up on my goods. So the problem is that everybody's trying to hold Israel to a perfect standard. And they're like, but Israel does this. Yeah, but every country does that.
Like killing 70,000
Shut the fuck up, Gazelle. 1 second, bro. I didn't interrupt you.
Oh, I didn't talk.
Well, I just seen you unmuted, and I can see the gray thing that's going around your fucking emote, like your PTR, and Shiva. So, but when I ask you, and I ask anybody on the stage, is there starvation going on in the United States of America? The answer is yes. Is there starvation going on in every country in the world? Yes. Is there people being oppressed in every country of the world? Yes. That's part of the world.
Yes, I would say correct.
But Israel's not allowed to make any mistakes.
So it's not that. It's just that, like, okay, since October 7th, there's been holy shit, so much propaganda being flung online. And of course, Israel,
it's
I
not
get it. They have to, hold on.
It's justification of October 7th.
Well, that is propaganda.
No. I'm not talking about the justification for why they did it. But like, okay, so in other words, what I'm trying to imply is that you guys
Copyright. That's good copyright infringement.
No, you're in a war.
Quite a while, right?
We're in a war together.
I'm talking about in the wars the United States had that had nothing to do with Israel.
Okay, it's intertwined. But we pass the mic to Euro for a second.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say, no. But what I was trying to say is that you have wars, and you're gonna have big. You have big critics, okay, and then you're the ones who have to defend yourselves. So you're always on your back foot. And what is your job? It's to make it seem like you basically did nothing wrong.
No,
which it's indefensible because everybody. I'm not talking about you, but I'm talking about that's the strategy.
No, it's not the strategy.
There's one thing that is wrong, and it's the existence of the Jews.
Oh,
And
I
that's
love
maybe
the
the
taking the
strategy
brain.
like 50 years ago. The strategy is no longer that. The strategy is we are not going to bend the trembling knee to the anti-Semite. We are not going to be scared Jews and cower away to the world. We are not going to run from terrorism. We are going to fight it right at where it stands. And we're going to take out the people that want to fuck with us.
Nobody's saying that you guys should tolerate being.
But I want to pass it to Euro.
I just want to correct this history here that's being totally misstated. So first of all, we had just heard a few minutes ago that supposedly in the past the resistance movement wasn't anti-Semitic and that it was driven by other factors. First of all, it wasn't called the resistance movement previously as a relatively. Pan-Arabism was always anti-Semitic, so it's just wrong to say historically it wasn't. It goes back to a time when the leader of the Arabs.
It wasn't my claim. My claim is that it was not Islam.
Whatever. If it's not your claim, that's fine. But I want to make it very clear that it was always anti-Semitic. Because that's what I heard, that it wasn't anti-Semitic previously. It was always strongly anti-Semitic to the point that the leader was working with the Nazis, moved to Germany to work with the Nazis, and then they came back and spilled Nazi propaganda, which was not even about any Palestinian people, it was just Arabs versus and Muslims versus Jews. And this Palestinian identity as a people developed later, much later. And when that developed, from the beginning, it was anti-Semitic, and it was put in writing. So there's no ambiguity on this.
I want to pass the mic to Gazelle. Gazelle, no, we don't want to just talk, like, it's an open stage. Go ahead.
Wait, how's it an open stage? Pepe was trying to get off what he was saying, and then you cut him off and let him go.
Pepe's been talking for 4 hours straight.
I know, but you could let him finish.
Rich, honestly, fuck up.
Oh, earn the hate, BB.
Okay, there you go. Gazelle.
There's lots of lies that are flowing around. I'm going to start with the last thing the gentleman just mentioned here, that no Palestine. It's not true, because when the British occupied that land, it was Palestine, and you can review their documents.
What are we doing after this guy gets continue?
Yeah, it's not what I said either.
Okay. No, let him go, because I want Gabriel to destroy him right now. Gazelle, and you said that we have an echo chamber, right? Go ahead.
Yep. It is actually. There's 9 people who are talking about the.
Go ahead, fuckface. You have the floor.
Well, first I can say fuckface to you too, but.
Thank you. I actually like that. Thank you. Go ahead.
Alright, when I asked Alan about there was any stabbing Muslims before the 1970s, and when the Soviet Union went to Afghanistan, he said he doesn't want to talk about that. That's actually when the extremist Muslims started. That's not propaganda. You can look it up. Started when the American government funded these extremists. I know you're saying, "Oh, you're God."
No, I'm just wondering, like, how the fuck, what happened?
Just let him.
Also, he's correct. He's correct. We did fund these people.
And you can look it up.
Just let him go. Gazelle, finish up your what you
No, please, I want Gabriel to grab this next.
And I'll answer him after he's done.
Let Gabriel go, please, after Gazelle, please, guys.
Okay, I think Alan should care about that because it's his government that's funding these extremists to fight the Soviet Union. Then when that was done, they cut them loose and they turned their heads to fight Americans now. And then, by the way, you can look up videos for when they invited these extremists to the White House and called them freedom fighters. They're the same extremists that did 9/11 after 2 years after that.
Thank you. Gabriel can go right away. It's okay.
So in other words, what you're saying is they're ungrateful fucks. We help support them in their fight against the Russians, and then they turn around and fight us. Even more reason to fuck with them. That's my first response. The second response is the problem with your statement is that implies that all of this started back in the war with Afghanistan, when those of us who know understand that the battle between Christians and Islam and Jews goes back hundreds of years. This didn't start in the 70s. It didn't start in the 60s. It didn't start in the 1800s. It started long before that. Muslims don't need a reason to hate Christians. They don't need a reason to hate.
That's how many different fees,
They
taxes,
just
permits the
do.
city hits us
It's
with?
baked into your religion. So don't fucking lie to this audience and try and portray like it has something to do with American-funded when it was the blame for supporting these charities.
Gabriel goes now. Thank you, Owen. Gabriel, the floor is yours.
Okay, thanks, guys. So I'll try to make quickly the 3 points. So the first point is the easiest one. Alan started to talk about it really well, I think. But the idea that the West created extremism. Yes, sure, extremism exists in Muslim and Islamist societies, but it's all the result of the West. It is the biggest load of shit, and it was invented by folks like Edward Said, who were, in my opinion, given a stupid amount of respect for the shittiest scholarship. It's simply because Americans and Westerners are basically completely ignorant of Arab and Muslim history. And so the simplest thing to say is that Islam divides the world into Dar al-Harb, which is the house of war, and Dar al-Salam, which is the house of peace. When people say Islam is the house of peace, yes, for anyone who converts to Islam, anyone who is Muslim. And actually, well, you have to be the right kind of Muslim because the different sects of Islam kill the fuck out of each other all the time. So the first thing is to say that extremism, right, is unfortunately cooked into Islam. Now, are there good things in Islam? Sure. The shit that they copied from the Jews and they copied from the Christians are good things. So there's plenty of good Muslims, following the good things. But there are way too many Muslims who follow the shitty things, 3 of which we all are aware of. Number 1, looking at the whole world who isn't Muslim as kafir, as people who are part of Dar al-Harb and are to be conquered or killed. Number 2, if anyone is a Muslim and dares to leave Islam, right? This is, by the way, this is a feature of Islam. It's not a bug, okay? I dare anybody to tell me this is not a core part of Islam, right? Okay. So if someone leaves... No, you cannot, because I'm speaking. I'm answering your 3 points. You gish-galloped over three things, but you were actually relatively brief. I will do you the same favor, and then you can answer. So, if you want to leave Islam, right, three wise men are going to speak to you, I forget how many times, and then if you still insist, they are allowed to kill you. That is actually part of the faith. And then the third thing, of course, is the idea that everyone, including non-Muslims, has to live by Sharia. These things, right, are features of the religion which make it a cancerous political ideology, not simply a religion of faith. Buddhism, Judaism, Christianity, as they are currently practiced, right, do not have anything like this, okay? And that is why Islam gets criticized. And there's nothing fucking wrong with criticizing Islam. So number one, Islam breeds extremism from its foundational texts to its commentaries to all of its empires. Now, the second point I'm going to hit is that extremism, right, was not created in the 1970s. That extremism started with the Arab-Muslim conquest of Jerusalem, which Arab and Muslim historians brag about. So when people talk about colonization, it's about the land. Spare me the bullshit, okay? Jerusalem was one of like 25 significant places, states, empires that Arab-Muslim conquered. Arabization and Islamization are bragged about today by Arab and Muslim historians. There's even a concept that if land was Arab or Muslim at one point, it must remain that way. That's why all these fuckers are talking about Al-Andalus. Al-Andalus. We have to get Spain back. We have to get Portugal back because it was once Muslim land and it must belong to Muslims again. This is a colonialist, imperialist, throw more word salad at it, throw left word salad, throw right word salad, but it is a conquering mentality. There's no two words about it. So I don't want to hear lefty bullshit, right, about, oh my God, Israelis, they conquered, they colonized. They didn't colonize jack shit, but colonized, right? The Amazigh were colonized, right? The Egyptians are not Arab or Muslim. Egyptians, true Egyptians, are Copts. And then there's other groups that are the indigenous people of that area. They were Arabized and colonized. Then you get to Armenians, Chaldeans, Assyrians. Today, a lot of these guys are Iraqi, and they call themselves Arab, but actually, most Chaldeans are almost extinct. Assyrians, Arameans, right? These people were Christian. There's hardly any of them left. Then you get to the Armenians and the Turkish Muslim genocide against the Armenian Christians. Then you get to the Kurds, because many of them were the wrong type of Muslim, and because they were the wrong ethnicity, they weren't Arab. You can keep going. You get to 10 African tribes. Arab Muslim supremacy, colonization, and mass murder has gone on for 1,400 years. I didn't even cover the 1,400 years of the Arab and Muslim slave trade, which fucking goes on till today. So if you're trying to say that the U.S. and the West traveled back in time 1,400 years and made the Prophet Muhammad go and his followers go conquer and mass murder in Jerusalem and then go conquer black African peoples and castrate them and kill 10 to 20 million of them, and that's just enslave those guys because of a time machine. I don't believe you, okay? Extremism is unfortunately, expansionism and extremism is cooked into the political and war ideology that is called Islam, okay? Now, that is not an attack on every Muslim. It's not an attack on all Muslims. It is simply a fact of history because by the time you get to the 50th country that is now Muslim, right, and the 22nd country that is Arab, when originally you started with one country, Arabia, that was Arab and Muslim, something must be up. And then the last thing I'll say, and that's one sentence, appreciate you guys hearing me out, is that there was no state in the history of the world called Palestine. There was no state with a king called Palestine. There was no coin called with Palestinian coins. What we had was a place, like let's call it Texas.
One eternity later.
Yes, exactly. Let's call it Texas, okay? Texans, right, are not an ethnicity. Texans were never an ethnicity. Now, today, you can make an argument the Palestinians have decided through 7 or 8, 6 generations of mental abuse.
Gabriel land.
Yeah. You can say that you can argue that there are people whose sole purpose is to destroy another people, but there was never a country called Palestine back then.
I agree with everything you said. Fuck.
Hold on. Gazelle, you wanna rebuttal this one?
Yeah, just quickly here.
Make it quick. You have 1 minute.
A lot quicker than Gabriel.
Okay, Gabriel.
The
But,
naked eye.
the list that you just listed,
You cannot
it's all lies.
accept any.
I'm not sure where
All
to
of them?
start.
That's fucking
Yeah,
awful.
so,
Wow.
yeah, so let's start.
I'm not gonna listen to bullshit. Like he explained everything in minutes in the best way possible, and this piece of shit fucking jihadist say whatever you say is a lie.
Okay.
Shut your fucking ass up.
Wait, were we want to engage with terrorism?
That's why I say you can never.
Then weren't we wanting to engage with the terrorists though?
Well, yes, we do want to engage with the terrorist
You
sympathizers.
just can't kick everybody down just because they're retards.
I'm gonna bring them back up. Gazelle, come back up.
Guys, this is stupid though. Why wouldn't you just let him bury himself? You just making an argument.
Again, we're gonna
I think it's fine to let him say what he wants to say, but he should say what the lies are rather than saying they're all lies.
They used to
Say this is a lie. That
They
is a lie.
kicked him down, and I don't even agree with the guy, but they kicked him down right when he was about to list off all the lies.
Tell him what he thinks.
Even though I disagree with him.
I'm gonna be
Is that rich?
So how do you explain all the churches and all the Christians survived these horrifying years that you were describing now, and survived for 1400 years?
If you look at the, if you look at what example that you have in fucking
Hold on. He's replying to me. Let me answer him.
Yeah, Giselle, is it rhetorical, or do you want Gabriel to respond?
I'm just gonna give him an example. So I'm original from Iraq.
Go ahead.
Original from Iraq. We have lots of
my
Christians.
family is too. Go ahead.
Faggots.
Okay. So we have lots of, as you know maybe, we have lots of churches. We had lots of Christians.
Yeah, but you pieces of shit literally made them have to leave.
Oh, that's after the war. That's after the invasion.
Evan, could you be quiet, or whoever that is, just let Gazelle speak?
I'm trying to be as much as respectful as I can, but some of you guys don't know that language, unfortunately.
Gazelle, continue. You have 1 minute. Land your plane.
I just gave him an example of
I want you to
surviving
confirm how you
mortality
said
that he
everything you said was a
Hold
lie.
on.
Okay. So you said that's a lie. Can I answer? Can I answer in 30 seconds? All right.
Please.
Maybe you show me on the doll where you were touched.
All right. So, Chaldeans, Assyrians, and Aramaeans are Christians. Chaldeans are down to less than 600,000 people worldwide. Okay? There was an Assyrian empire. They were conquered. And they have been mass murdered by Arab Muslims who ruled over them, just like 20 plus other religious and ethnic minorities. That's my answer.
That's actually not true. So the Assyrians were 3000 BC, 3000 years BC. Islam came 600.
And after Islam came, how did they treat Assyrians? How did they treat Assyrians after Islam came? How did they treat Assyrians? I can find you an Assyrians tomorrow. You can ask. Would you like to ask 100 Assyrians how they were treated? Would you like to ask?
You are talking. You're talking about 3,000 years before.
Gazelle, you're squirming. I'm saying when Arab Muslims it's very simple. When Arab Muslims control a state, a city, an empire, they treat other minorities, right? They treat Christians and Jews like dhimmi, like third-class apartheid citizens. And they did that to Assyrians just as recently as the past 100 years in Iraq.
I'm not gonna try to defend Islam because I'm not religious, but...
Really? Okay. Am I wrong? Am I wrong?
No.
Are Jews and Christians not treated as dhimmi citizens?
Yes.
I have no of that or to deny it.
Really? With the Jizya? Really?
The Copts in Egypt? Seriously? The Coptic Christians?
You guys the same fucking the game with him that you play with us. Like, this is so obnoxious. Like, you're so disingenuous.
How do you know? Like, you are listing the wars between Muslims and the people in that.
Gazelle.
But you forgot all the wars in Europe.
Gazelle, can I ask you a question? Do you think we can get the answer from ChatGPT, from AI? I'm asking you, do you think we can get the answer from AI?
No, I'm not saying what Muslims did back then was perfect.
Simply a religion of...
No, wait, Gazelle, you didn't answer Rafi's question. Rafi asked you, do you think we can get the answer from ChatGPT or artificial intelligence from AI?
Love and our faith in God.
About the Syrians, the cops, the Chaldeans, have they been treated like shit? They've been treated like third-class citizens in Muslim-run countries for the last 1,000 years.
Yeah, I actually asked the question, so I have an answer from GPT.
Are we going to take that as factual, Gazelle, or are we going to...
Are you going to discredit the Saints
So AI just goes
Gazelle, you're not that Muslim, you just said you don't follow. But if we give you the answer, which you have the same opportunity to get the same answer, are you going to accept it?
Of course, once you tell me the resources.
Okay, so Hero, please, the mic, the stage is yours. Since you already looked it up.
So
you can verify.
So this is the question I asked. I said, did the Assyrian population decline significantly under Islamic rule? Okay, so I thought that was phrased pretty neutrally. And it says yes, but not all at once. There wasn't an immediate catastrophic collapse right after the Islamic conquest, but over the long term, the Assyrian population declined significantly under Muslim-ruled states. The steepest and most devastating declines were often later, not in the first centuries of Islam. So I hope that answers. I mean, there's a lot more, but it's...
Euro, can you do me one small favor? Swap out Assyrian for Copt and just focus on Egypt. Say, how have the Copts of Egypt, the Christian Copts, fared under majority Muslim rule?
Yeah, they have pogroms and they run around and kill them in the street or their churches out.
I'm not trying. Like, I'm not sure what to do.
Gazelle, you made us explain that everything Gabriel said was a lie.
Yeah.
We started dissecting everything that Gabriel said. Now we're verifying it. Now you're saying we don't know how we got here.
Yeah. He mentioned.
You made that claim that he lied.
Yes,
like
he did.
Like you knew on every topic that he spoke on. You made a statement he lied.
Yes.
Now we ask you if you're gonna take what we're gonna give you, and you have the same information by your fingertips to find out right now, and to verify this information what Gabriel said. Are you gonna accept it? You said yes.
No.
Now you're playing stupid. You don't know how we got here.
No. Wait. Like it says, the Assyrians, the numbers declined after Islam. It didn't say how. Like what happened?
It said after the Muslim conquest. Did you notice that part? There was a conquest.
You rotten
what happened?
You look now, rotten piece of shit. You have some of the oldest. Hold on. You have some of the oldest Christian populations in the fucking world that speak Aramaic, the closest language, at least currently, that what Jesus would have spoke. Yes, they absolutely had to, because of like Muslim hukes like you, that would terrorize them and fucking kill them. And like the fact that I have to listen, and this is a problem with, I don't. Does the left do they have any safeguards when it comes to talking to these fucking people?
No.
This is hurts right now. No, you people are venomous as shit. Literally, right now, shut your goddamn filthy fucking diaper head mouth, you fucking faggot.
So
you infect the world with your fucking filth. And when they're not willing to go along with it, you fucking terrorize them and kill them. That is a goddamn game.
Hold on.
So I have the answer to that question.
Okay. Please. Now verify the next. So Gazelle, we're taking everything Euro says as factual, right? Correct, Gazelle? You admitted that. And again, you can verify Gazelle by going to the same ChatGPT and typing in the same answer and reading it with your own two eyes.
Yeah.
And asking for a resort.
So two things. One is, the next question I asked was about the Copt population, but about the Assyrian population, Part of the answer I didn't read is the explanation of why and how, so you raised a good question, because I didn't mention how. So it said, and I read this first part, the steepest and most devastating declines were often later, not in the first centuries of Islam. For Assyrians, some of the most severe demographics came under later Muslim-ruled polities, especially the late Ottoman period and World War I, when the Assyrian genocide, often called Sepho, killed very large numbers and shattered historic communities. Modern displacement in Iraq, Syria, Iran, and Turkey then reduced the population further. So the answer did explain how. And then the next question I asked was, what about the Copt population in Egypt? That's my entire question. It says the Coptic population declined very substantially under Islamic rule over the long term. The strongest concise statement I found is from historical economic paper by Mohammed Saleh. Copts fell from almost all of Egypt's population in 641 to about 7% by 1897.
Okay, so I just asked ChatGPT the same question, and I got a different answer.
No, okay. So the Copt population didn't fall.
Answer with your facts on it, so we can check.
Okay, so early Islamic and medieval periods after the Muslims.
Hold on. Gazal, how did you state your question? Tell us.
How did Muslims treated Christians in what's called Iraq right now?
Yeah, so a totally different question, of course.
Yeah, you asked them what the question.
So don't you think this is a good question, like good wording for the question?
No, to ask for what period of year, like what specific timeline are we asking?
Yeah, the answer was so early Islamic period, which is the 7th century. The Christians became part of an Islamic state. Christians were considered people of the book. I don't know if you guys know, but or whoever is following Torah or Bible.
Bro, we don't need a history fucking breakdown. We all know this. Hurry up.
Okay, and we're allowed to practice their religion, special tax code. So the only different thing was
but practicing your religion was literally like butchering people and stripping away the rights of the native people that like.
So point number 2 from the answer. Many Christians held important roles, especially in medicine, translation, and administration during the Abbasid Caliphate. Yeah.
Because Arabs were dumb. Because Arabs were dumb.
It has absolutely nothing to do with what Gabriel said. Gabriel said the Assyrian population was significantly reduced under Islamic rule, and so was the Copt population. And you said, your response to that was, that's a lie. So then I asked GPT, and it says yes. And it says significantly, it didn't happen in the early Islamic rule, which I already said. It happened more recently under the late Ottoman period, where there was a genocide, an Assyrian genocide, and large people were killed, and then there was a large displacement. As far as the Copt population, it went from 100% down to 7%. So I don't know how you could say that's a lie to say.
I asked Gazelle, and I asked you specifically, what time frame did you choose in that question that you asked Chat? Why 7th century?
Because the Islam came in the 650. So it's like
but
50
we
years
weren't
after.
talking about the 7th century.
You're talking about like till now?
Yes, I said that twice. I said that under. Let me listen. What you took issue with, right? One of the things, right? Because I booted out like 7 or 8 significant facts. You said they're all lies. One of my facts was simply that groups like the Copts, who used to be a majority, Coptic Christians were a majority in Egypt. They're now a minority. One moment, listen. They're now a minority, okay? Coptic girls are kidnapped and raped or force converted today. There are dozens of articles about this. Google Coptic girls abducted in Egypt.
You made a fallacy.
Congress had to have Congress. The U.S. Congress, it got so bad, and Egypt's our ally, that the U.S. Congress had to have hearings about why Christian girls were being abducted and in their youth mass raped or were force converted. And it's still happening today. So I'm just trying to tell you that under Muslim rule, right, it doesn't matter if it was a conquest, you know, in the 7th century, or it wasn't. In many cases it was. The point is that under Muslim majority rule, indigenous peoples who used to be a minority are now used to be a majority, are now minorities, and they are treated terribly. Jews are just one of the groups. All kinds of Christians, Kurds, Assyrians, Arameans, Chaldeans, right? Amazigh. Literally every place where there was an indigenous group, once Islam took hold, right? And I'm not blaming all of Islam. I'm saying the way this all happened, right, is that apparently every time you have a Muslim majority country, the former majority indigenous groups of people, they lose their language, they lose their religion, they lose their livelihoods eventually, and then their population dwindles. And you can go down the list of 20 groups I named. That's the problem.
So what you're trying to say is,
Hindu girls are also kidnapped and sent in Pakistan.
100% correct. But
Wait a second. Everybody hold on a second.
Wait a second, just to be fair, I asked GPT the question the same way he phrased it. So I said, how were Christians treated during the late Ottoman period? And it gives a very long answers, and I'll read from it. For Armenians, conditions deteriorated badly in the 1890s, the Armenian massacres, and then catastrophically in 1915-16, when the Ottoman government carried out deportations and mass against Armenian Christians during the First World
He's
War.
a Coptic Christian, just by the way.
you don't know what Google is?
Coptic. I'll look it up. But really, is this a big group?
Yeah.
Is it?
A lot of Coptics.
In the Middle East?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I have Google though. I got your point. But how are you?
I mean, you don't hear about Coptic Christians kidnapping and murdering Muslim girls, do you?
No, but I just heard that Gabriel talking about it. I believe him. So.
Yeah, Gabriel's bringing fucking fire.
Yeah, I'll brush up, but it's really a mess, isn't it?
If you know everything there is about Islamic history and crime, it's pretty damning.
I know very little, but I am negatively biased, so. I was also, blocked from the Twin Towers on 9/11, so I have my whole personal trauma history on that one.
Do you think there were detonators inside the buildings?
I had a phase where I believe that. What do you think?
Without a doubt.
Yeah, I've seen those side-by-side videos, right, where... Is that what you're referring to? Stuff like that?
Mm.
The 7 building, right?
No, I'm just saying that controlled demolitions,
Yeah.
are a thing, and there's just no way that a building at the top on fire can just fall like that unless it's controlled demolition. It's impossible.
Yeah. Haven't thought of that a lot.
I mean, it'll burn like a candle, but it won't fucking drop.
Yeah. Jesus, what a day. But you were a child when that happened, right?
I was a freshman in college.
Okay. Not quite a child.
I watched it live on TV. I saw the second one go in, and I was like, what the fuck? A second plane hit? I was like, oh my god. I was like, this isn't a coincidence. I was like, this is like a coordinated attack.
I was on the
crazy.
bus. John, look up City Hall, and the bus driver, we all felt it. He goes, this is the end of the line, folks. I don't know what's going on. Yeah. I walked down there, it's like, pandemonium. But what a crazy, crazy thing. You know what I said, John, about the people who were rushing up Broadway? I said, these people are overreacting. What could happen? You didn't have the phones back then, John.
Mm-hmm.
Remember? And
I don't know. I'm working on
You
that.
should. You should. Okay, good. Alright.
Yeah, listening to Pepe all day isn't going to be fulfilling enough for me, unfortunately.
Me either.
I had like a moment of panic today where I was like meditating and sitting in the sun and I just heard Pepe's voice. And, and I started panicking. I was like, "Oh no. How do I get
There is a God. He's talking to you.
I was like, "How do I get this guy's voice out of my head?"
What a voice, though. Yeah.
It's
I
lit-
got the same
It's
problem.
literally like Kermit the Frog if he got beat over the head with a baseball bat.
The things he says are just.
See, what's really stupid is when you listen to him, you assume his liability and responsibility, and so it's crazy to listen to this guy because it becomes the Pepe show, and it's basically a retarded show. And if you're a higher if you're higher intelligence than him, he makes you he can't necessarily make you dumber, but if you're choosing to listen to him, then you are actually dumber.
It's like whippets, John. Have you ever?
Mm-mm.
You know, the club drug of the 80s?
I've seen people at concerts do that. I'm like, are these people crazy? Like, what a horrible drug.
Horrible. You lose brain cells. But I've done those in the 80s. And later, when I read up on it, I said, what an idiot. Why would you do that to yourself? You know better. You're a smart half-Jew.
I know. Choosing to take a nail gun and just shoot a nail in your brain.
Exactly. It's like listening to Pepe. Okay, well, I hope they don't arrest us for the pejorative commenting. I actually respect that guy more than many others.
Pepe?
Because, yeah, I can't explain it. Do you?
Oh God, no! I can't believe that people, even Jews, share the stage with him because he calls people the K word. He's mentally unstable. But the thing is, it's like if this is what he thinks is like responsible or like if his dad was to listen to him, I'm not trying to project here, but like I don't know, it's just not. See the part. You can't be proud of it. You can't be proud of it. Well, it's stupid. I mean, write an essay and publish something, but like to come on here and scream and scream and scream, it's so stupid, so juvenile.
Totally agree. He's been one of my least favorites. But lately, I have found myself, similar to the way you described, listening to him going, what is the fascination, Jane? He's so, it's like abnormal psych.
See, if you believe that all communication is hypnosis, this is Pepe's hypnosis. But again, it goes back to the person who's willing to submit to the hypnosis Pepe session. It's your choice, you know.
Well, John, as always, thank you. I see you're running for mayor. I'll get the updates someday.
I am. I see Scott's doing well. He's looking thin. He's dating a girl. Oh my gosh, he turned it all around.
I met her. Yeah, she's lovely.
Wow, good for him.
Very nice. She has children. He's well, I hope he'll do well there. She's very nice.
Good. Everybody needs. Have you ever seen the movie Blues Brothers?
Yeah, when I was a child.
Everybody needs somebody. That movie is a very funny movie because the whole thing is hypnosis. They're like magician hypnotists who go around society trolling it, and then they get called up on stage and they play their version of like a mythical Chicago duo called the Blues Brothers that don't actually exist, but everybody accepts it as such. When they hear the music, they like it, but prior to that, nobody knows who they are. It's a very funny movie because it forces all these assumptions onto the viewer. It's very funny. I was watching it today. I was like, this is actually genius and very funny because
I gotta rewatch that.
yeah, because they just make up the character. it's all made up. But they have a lot of cameos of like famous musicians and famous celebrities. It's
Oh, it was so popular. It was so popular.
I know it's kind of funny. It's like it makes me want to dress up as a blues brother and like go around town and do music. Yeah, it's just a simple black and white suit, but it's a genre of blues, but it's all made up. It's just fantasy, just like Clubhouse and Pepe being intelligent. I mean, do you hear him speak?
I think what's going on there is, no, I didn't say I thought he was intelligent. It was a relative comparison. That sometimes he seems to know history more than others. Yeah. I mean,
Fuck you guys.
I really can't believe how much people just listen to him.
See, he's got energy, and I think a lot of people would.
I think that's what it is. It's something intangible.
See from a recorder's perspective, I never want dead airtime. So he is a good filler because he doesn't stop, and so there's always I think a lot of the people here are just playing it, and then they're doing organizing and cleaning in the background. But when you actually listen to him, and if you were to take all of his worst, most racist, horrible things that he says, he is garbage. He is literally like a mountain of garbage.
Why there is a sense that he has multiple channels when people say, well, he's doing a role. No, he isn't. He's always the same.
I don't know why Jews even they mod him. They listen to him say horrific things. I just can't believe it.
About a year ago, I wrote to Abby and I tried to make we're not exactly friendly, but I respect her enough. And I went, why are you friends with him? He hates us. And she gave me some, polite answer about like, well, he's a Zionist. And I'm like, we're making deals with idiots.
It's crazy. He's not a Zionist. He is
I don't
not.
think he is either. But
it doesn't matter. See, the thing is, he's just a whole. If you.
Jews in America make deals with the dumbest among us, Americans.
It's not a deal. They're just tolerating it because I think eventually you have to realize he's never going away. He loves being here, and so.
All the Huckabee people, I'm saying, like the broader group of evangelicals that are obsessed with Israel, so AIPAC likes them. Heard Seth and all that. I mean, these are dumb people.
Yeah, but so what? I mean,
To preserve Israel, we have to fuck up all of America.
Are you kidding me? America's fucked up with or without Israel. Like we're stupid.
I agree.
We tax ourselves to death. We're the cruelest people. We're insane. We're stupid. We've ruined the country in 20 fucking years. 20 fucking years we've ruined the country. 25 years we've ruined this fucker. We have depleted it all. It's gone. There's nothing left. There's no pension money. It's just one giant fucking mortgage, and the revenue is going down. The businesses are shutting down. Like the whole system is caving in slowly, but it's caving. It's not growing. It's caving. It's just because of all the debt.
Kind of a funny thing. How are your parents in their 60s yet?
Yeah.
No. Yeah. Like the notion of Social Security. I don't think there's anyone who's been like professional who's planning to live on it. No.
My mother lives on it. She's so cheap. She pees in the toilet 5 times before she flushes it.
Oh, my mother does too, by the way. I'm saying people my age. I'm not eligible until.
It's not that people expect to live off of it. It's the fact. It's everything. It's Medicare, Medicaid at $4 trillion a year. It's not just Social Security.
We paid money. I don't know why they don't just give everybody a rate. Give us all a check.
Exactly. They should cut. They should cut everything and just issue us checks.
With it. Yes. Yeah. And I think that's not understood. There are many. I'm a Democrat, as you know, but on that issue, I don't think that sounds very much. That sounds like a conservative, and I don't care, because I'm like, it is stupid. It doesn't work. But even me, I'm like, but I
Well, you know,
Is your,
it's
your
po-
mother's,
it's possible
your
that
mother then?
it's possible that we go into like a World War III type of thing, and everybody is just like shuffled along and pushed down the stairs, and
Yeah,
you know,
yeah. Massive death.
it's
A
possible.
weeding out. Yeah, it's gross.
It's possible. I keep saying that baby boomers want to boom, and like they're gonna actually like take us to the next level of stupidity.
Seems so. Seems so. My dad and mom, they're already 80, so they're like that generation prior to baby boomers.
Yeah,
They're
my dad's turning 80.
Uh,
He's not clueless though. I mean, he knows there's corruption out there like everywhere. It's wild. But anyways, all right. Well, Jane, I don't want to keep you anymore. Have a great evening.
Okay, see you later.
Okay, bye bye.
You tell me that like Kim Jong Un is somebody who's a good person? That we should respect his quote unquote authority?
That was for you, Gazelle. You Sharboto Kasumko.
Very smart, you know 2 words in Arabic.
No, Kasumkum South Sudanese, it means retard.
My question was, let's say Trump invaded North Korea tonight. Who is that? Like, holy shit. Okay, let's say that Trump invaded North Korea tonight, got rid of the regime. There's gonna obviously be growing pains.
Alan, close your fucking mic while you're washing dishes. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, there's obviously going to be growing pains between the North Koreans and the South Koreans because one group has been malnourished, abused, probably has way higher rates of PTSD and so forth. But do you think that it's morally wrong that we would want to free North Koreans?
No, what I think is you guys never do that for moral reasons. Never.
Oh. Well, I mean, you're I would say like at least half correct there.
Wait, how is it not moral to kill fucking terrorists?
Because you would say that when you came and invaded, right? You said there's weapons of mass destruction.
No. That was just a lie.
You guys lied.
Yeah, that was a lie.
Exactly.
Yeah, Saddam switched over the U.S. petrodollar 98 to the euro. We went back in there. The second we took Baghdad, we switched back over to the U.S. petrodollar. We destabilized Iraq. We got rid of Saddam because he started with all this fuckery shit. Even though we were the ones that put him in fucking power under fucking Bush Senior. Controlling, running the fucking CIA. And then we destabilized Afghanistan, and then we trained all their fucking soldiers, and then we left them billions of dollars in munitions and let them fight the Chinese and Russians as they come back in. And then we fucking toppled Syria because they fucked around. So fuck around and fuck.
Fucked around, you mean they want it to be a free country?
Yeah. We do what we want. This is America, motherfucker.
That's pure tourism.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So I'm still waiting, Gazelle. Are you going to concede with a point?
Gazelle, you're just mad that you're not the biggest terrorist group. We are.
We're at.
You guys are a bunch of pussy faggots that get your ass kicked. And you guys are like, you guys lost in Iraq and Afghanistan. Yeah, we killed like 1.5 million Iraqis and over 1 million fucking Afghanis. We killed like 3 to 5 million citizens, civilians in Iraq and Afghanistan both. Like, how is that a fucking loss when we only lost like 4,000 soldiers over 22 years? Like, we really lost. We lost 4,000. And a huge fucking number of those are like accidents and suicides. Like fucking all that good shit. Like somebody drove their fucking truck, their Humvee off a fucking cliff and like 5 soldiers died. So yeah, I mean, we lost 4,000. You guys lost like 10 million. So go fuck yourself. You lost. Same thing with Gaza. You guys killed fucking 1,200 people, and we've murdered fucking 80,000 of you motherfuckers. It's amazing.
I'm not proud of any civilian killed. I'm like,
too bad. You should cry about the Nazis in Stalingrad and fucking Dresden. You should cry about all that shit too. You should cry about Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
To Thursday.
You should fucking cry about fucking D-Day. You should cry about fucking Normandy and D-Day. You should cry about fucking Iwo Jima. You should cry about the 40,000 people dying a day. I know, it's fucking crazy, yeah. How is Islam a race, you fucking retard? Explain that. You guys love throwing that away. You could say Islamophobia, but a phobia is an irrational fear. This is irrational fear. This is irrational hatred. This is justified why I have hatred for Islam. I mean, I know your Quran, your Hadith, and your tafsirs. It's fucking disgusting.
Do you guys agree with what this guy is saying?
Partially. Most of them. Some of them a whole heart.
Wasn't it your prophet wasn't a pedophile?
Yeah, he fucked Aisha. He married Aisha when he was 51. Oh shit, he was 51. Aisha was 6. He consummated marriage at his old when he was 54. And he penetrated her. He used the thigh her.
No, because I have a question. Because you talk all this stuff. What would you do if you had a time machine?
Oh, yeah, I love this one. Yeah, if I had a time machine, I'd go back, kidnap Prophet Muhammad. I'd let pigs anally rape him and ejaculate into his asshole. And then I'd let all the donkeys and all the other livestock fuck him in the ass. And then I would cut his head off and I would chop him up in 1,000 pieces. Then I'd feed him to pigs and I'd burn the pigs and I'd fucking bury the pigs and pour sulfuric acid so all the burnt parts are all gone. So that way your
What?
Excellent. Thank you.
Again.
Oh, actually, you know what? I take it back. I would probably let the Al-Zid men rape him some more too.
Is there anyone that...
Brazil, are you supposed to leave when somebody insults your prophet? You're not supposed to associate and engage with that person? And you keep engaging on this thing, talking. I know you're not a super religious person, but I guess you're just... I guess you're
supposed to kill you, but he can't.
I know.
I just want to know. I'm just trying
But you're supposed to run away like a cowardice little bitch.
I'm trying to... guys here. Do you guys agree with what this guy is saying? He's
100 million.
Hold on. We'll get a vote on this. Everybody who agrees with me, put a 1 in the chat. Everybody who disagrees, put a 0.
But what he said, just for those who didn't listen to what he said.
See how many 1s we get. Anybody agree? 1. Oh, there's 1-0. Oh, fuck. I'm losing. Oh, there's a 1. There's a 1. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. 1's coming in. 1's coming in, baby. Yeah, we got this. Yeah. Get some, motherfucker. This is why you guys lose. We have more energy.
This nigga's clearly on crack. Like,
Galaxy, you have AIDS. Like, full-blown AIDS.
You're on crack.
You don't have HIV anymore. You have those big fucking AIDS sores on your arm.
But you're
Remember when you were standing in the lobby with your gay little fucking
crack.
Daredevil, or no, Deadpool-looking fucking dog, and you were standing there holding that ugly fucking fugly-looking dog, and you had those big AIDS sores all over your arms. You're gonna be dead soon.
Oh no! Oh no!
I think the 1's won and the 0's lost. I thank all of the committee for voting for me, and I'll sing this little song. Muhammad is a pedophile. Muhammad is a piece of shit. Muhammad is burning in hell.
Muhammad is a bandana.
You can't just be normal? Like, why do you have to be an idiot?
No. Like KK said, I am a crackhead, and I'm on crack. And meth.
You're not religious. Why is your father? What's going on?
Oh shit, I got Mikhail and KK mixed up with St. PTR.
Well, most of the people here are like agreeing with what you just said here. Like,
well, don't throw up fucking skulls at me when you ate your fucking wife's pussy while she's on her period. That's disgusting, bro. No, I'm talking about William Wallace in the chat. He gave me skulls. He ate his own wife's pussy while she was on her period.
Okay, then you guys are lost in cause here.
No, I agree. That's disgusting. William should be taken out back.
Yeah, I know we're non-believers. You're supposed to kill us, but you can't do anything about it.
No, it's not that. I don't care. I don't give a shit about your beliefs. But celebrating killing over 1 million civilians is...
No, 3 to 5 million. It was 1 million combatives. 1.5 million in Iraq and 1 million in Afghanistan, 5 million civilians in each country. So it's basically 6 and 10 million civilians. But that wasn't a genocide. You Muzzies weren't crying genocide then. You were just crying war crimes. You weren't saying it was fucking genocide. But then when Israel fucking engages with the gospel, so the most densely populated area on Earth, compacted with a bunch of fucking kids because y'all are having like 18 fucking kids per each fucking woman. And you're like, oh, these 16-year-olds are running around with Kalashnikovs, shitty ass and throwing rocks and trying to stab IDF soldiers and trying to shoot rockets at them. And this 16-year-old gets shot and you go, oh, this baby boy is dead, this baby boy is dead. It's like, well, stop teaching your fucking kids Sesame Street where you literally have cartoons where a fucking Palestinian fucking guy stands there. Well, actually, they had one cartoon where they were teaching the two kids to get knives and go stab the fucking Israelis in the neck. And then they had another one where there was a fucking security guard or police officer standing there, and then the guy standing across and he observes him at like 1:30 doing like fucking switching out with another guard. So then he goes and gets a guard's uniform, and then he goes and pretends he's the new guard taking over that fucking position at that time at 1:30. Switches out like a minute earlier, takes his fucking gun away, and then walks through the grocery store and starts shooting people. This is literally the videos you guys make for your Palestinian kids. It's fucking disgusting.
Blame them if you think about them that way.
You think it's right to make Sesame style fucking commercials where you show Bert and Ernie sitting there saying kill the fucking dudes? Yeah. Go and get a knife. Fight in Allah. Fight in jihad for Allah.
Negative, Rich.
You have the fucking Jew in the face. Imagine making cartoons for kids. Like, dude, hold on. Ocean, would people do that in the United States and they make Spider-Man videos on YouTube and they put them out and they fucking put them out to kids and they're like, hey kids, look, this is Spider-Man like fucking Princess B, and then he like cuts her head off and shit, and they make these like animated cartoons and they market them for fucking kids because they're evil fucking people. We fucking say that that's abhorrent and fucking disgusting and horrific, but then when the Palestinians do the same thing, they're like, oh, Allahu Akbar.
Meanwhile, Spider-Man is fighting aliens most of the times, or bad guys. And then these guys are raising their...
Yeah, they literally put like cartoon snuff videos and market for kids on YouTube. And we take that shit immediately down and ban their accounts and call it fucking horrific. But when the Palestinians do, they scream Allahu Akbar, so fuck them.
That's what I said. Americans are very privileged people. They're very spoiled people.
Yep, it's called first world problems.
They got it so good, they don't realize how fucked up it is out there. So they think there is something better for them out there.
Yeah, go watch the videos about the Bachabazi boys, and then you'll be like,
oh. I know, I have seen those, but they're absolutely wrong. There's nothing better out there. You got the best of the best in human history, and you're fucking it up. Europe fucked it up for themselves, and some fucking lefties, dumb fuck liberals, fucking Democrats are fucking it up in this country as well. So yeah.
I just want to say we gotta watch what we say about on some subjects because Roya has her eye on you, Rafi, and I. Takes a second. What up, Tom? What are you doing, Rafi?
Yeah. Oh, nothing.
Are you hot micing?
I am hot micing. 1 second. I need to mute up.
Wait, is that Shuki? Like the real Shuki or fake Shuki? I think it is the real Shuki.
I don't know. He follows Amir's house. This is not the real Shuki.
Yeah.
I don't follow nobody.
Oh, it is Shuki.
It is Shuki. Shuki nuts, yeah. Hey, listen here, motherfucker.
The Chicago mayor is already heated up with the election less than a year away. Community organizer John Kitover threw his hat into the ring. The Chicago mayor is already heating up with the election.
Did somebody kick him?
Did somebody kick him? Did BB kick him? Shuki, I'm sorry, BB kicked you. He's a piece of shit.
Somebody kick Shuki?
Why
Anybody?
would you kick Shuki?
I didn't touch him.
Somebody bring Shuki back up.
I got it.
I want to hear Shuki scream. I see you on the Shuki Express. Look up, Rafi.
Shuki's the original of Muhammad is a pedophile.
Yeah, where do you think I got it? Yeah. You're a fucking piece of shit, baby.
Honestly.
Yeah, what a scumbag.
BB. No, we love BB. But Rich.
Baby, you're right.
Fucking crackhead, you're confusing me.
You're my puppet. Shut up, Rafi. Baby, I have a question. When they build the third temple, do you think that they're gonna stone you for being an adulterer?
You can have multiple wives in the Old Testament.
Attention.
I'm just trying to tell you, yeah, like, go ahead, Necro. I can talk all day, Necro. Stop annoying people. You can give somebody a minute, and then you can go for a minute. Fuck, it's not so complicated. If a Palestinian state was supposed to be a state,